Crackdown for life.
Welcome everybody to the CrossFire podcast, where you almost didn't get a show because Crap was doing it behind the scenes. It was going great, but I said, let's go live. Guys, we've got an outstanding show. Lots of different opinions. You got to understand, a lot of people go, what is up with when you actually put a title up like that? This is the subject at hand, folks. This is what people are talking about, and we are here to not say that the title is right. We're here to say, is the title correct? With that being said, let's go to the one, the only Crap Gamer. Welcome to CrossFire tonight, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Happy to be here. We're gonna, talk about obviously Crackdown. I'm sure there's gonna be some interesting opinions here. One thing I'm probably pretty sure is that there's nobody here that's gonna agree that game's a 59.
I don't think you're gonna get many people to argue with you there, Crap.
Yeah. So I mean, it kind of is what it is. We can say, hey, I don't know why, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting because obviously I'm pretty fired. I spent the whole afternoon playing this game, by the way.
I'm jealous of that.
Yeah, and I gotta say, wow, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm bummed that it scored as low as it did. It possibly ended the franchise because it's Crackdown, right? That's like ended Uncharted and going, this game would be great, but it's just more Uncharted. Plays like Uncharted.
How dare they?
Halo is great, but let's give it a 59 because it plays like Halo, right? Like that. I mean, that's the argument. Forza's great. But
it plays like Forza.
Sex is great, but it's sex. It's too much like
pull
sex.
The Forza out of Forza Horizon,
right? Like, get out of here, man. Like, I don't understand it. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, let's go. Let's get some other introductions done.
Sounds good, Crap. And then I've got the man himself, Senor Bombastic Boom, who just finished his last podcast at 7:05. Boom, thanks for being here, buddy. We really appreciate it. And I know you're really opinionistic on tonight's show.
You know what? There's a lot to talk about. We had the show this morning. Crackdown. Wasn't a big topic on there, but we got a chance to talk off the air. Don and I streamed for over an hour and a half, and we had so much fun with that game. And listen, I understand. It's a bonehead move with the friends thing and the multiplayer. Okay, that's completely been stated by everybody this side of Texas, right? There's no doubt about it. Okay, but at the same time, the way that this game is being reviewed and the game that I spent over 5 hours playing since yesterday, I don't understand what they're talking about. This isn't boom damage controlling. If the game was shit, I would tell you so. But the game is far from it.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're going to get many arguments there. And I know there's a lot of people in the chat saying damage control. Guys, take into consideration, these are intros. People are giving their heartfelt feelings towards the game, but I don't think it's damage control. And we'll get to it later because we talked about it pre-show, and I'll make sure that we revitalize it and bring that back up so all you guys in the chat can hear what we were talking about pre-show. Then I've got my buddy Xbot448. Xbot, let me tell you something. I'll pay you a compliment right now during the intros. Watched you and Mel streaming Crackdown 3. What you guys got is something quite special. It is a lot of fun to watch you guys play a game because you guys play a game, and when I've watched so many people stream, you guys generally have a blast.
Yes,
an absolute blast, and it's a pleasure to be friends with both of you guys. Xbot, how you doing tonight? And welcome to Crossfire.
What's up, brother? Well, first off, thank you for the kind words. Me and O Snaps, we came together, and the first things we ever did was play games together. We played Operation Raccoon City. We played Left 4 Dead 2.
Nice.
We were going in early with gaming, but guys, I gotta say, and to the chat out there, there's been so much negativity over a game with a low review score. Guys, can you lay off Jump Force real quick? It's catered to a certain audience. Getting a 64 in Metacritic isn't that bad. Jump Force, people. Jump Force.
Are you saying Junk Force?
Jump.
Oh, okay. I thought you were making a comment on it being junk.
No. My whole thing is everybody is going in. No crap. Everybody's going in on Crackdown and in the low 60s and all this good stuff. Jump Force was pretty
50s,
much around
man. It's in the 50s
it's
now,
in the
bro.
50s now.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's funny? And again, the intros, people should already know who the hell we are by now. But honestly,
I love it.
Well, seriously, the intros and outros on the show take up 10 minutes. It's like 10 minutes of talk time.
And don't forget the outros.
That's what I'm saying. So to me, this has the same Metascore as Rise, and it says divisive because Xbox. I've never met an Xbox fan that hated Rise, right? And Microsoft really liked Rise too. They're like, yeah, we like it. We don't get the score. You know, it had flaws. I think Crackdown 3 is like that, where it's divisive. I see everybody posting their pictures, playing the game, having a blast with it, and the media's and the Sony fans are like, you shouldn't be able to.
Right.
You know, like that to me. And the people that say damage control are people that haven't played it. Like, you know what? Look, I'm disappointed that it got low scores, and it seems like we get a lot of mediocre games. It is just Crackdown beefed up a lot.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is a bummer to see that there's, you know, something maybe to some of these scores that I don't understand the 4s and stuff. You know, that's 4s, 5s. Those are broken games. You can't play them. You know, unplayable, glitches, bugs. You know, jumper on the 360. You know, those are 4s. I don't get it. So it's gonna be interesting. Let's go ahead and interview.
Well, let me say this, Crap. Write the rest of that down. I just want to get to your second cousin in Florida, Clowns, who's sitting over there waiting for his introduction. Clowns, welcome to the show tonight. How you doing?
It's your moment, Clowns. It's your moment to shine. Give us something good.
It's your 15 seconds.
Hi, this is the Clowns, not the 448. I'm in Florida where it's sinking. I need a calzone.
That's great. Let me go to my special guest real quick. We've got him back. Enrique is back for Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. Enrique, we have talked so much behind the scenes over the past 2 weeks. We kind of are on the same page with this, and I'm very excited to have your opinion on everything we're going to discuss tonight. Welcome back to the show. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me back. I just want to say, despite all these low review scores with 2 games that just recently come out, we have Anthem. Nobody's talking about that.
That's true, and that is on the list. Believe me, that is on the list.
Hashtag Anthem.
Hashtag Anthem, folks, okay? And then I've got, listen, you guys know him as the Don. He says, kiss that ring.
Don. It's his birthday, isn't it?
I think it's his birthday too, guys.
And I figured the one channel I need to be on is the Mooch's channel when it's my birthday, man. So I'm here.
That's true. And Don, I would like to mooch off of your birthday. If anyone wants to send $2 back to Don and me, you know where to find us.
Hey, listen
Don,
here.
The show, buddy.
Yeah, if I get any doubles on anything I already own, I'll pass it your way. It's part of
now
the
we're
right?
talking, folks.
Yeah.
That is how a show is done. All right, let's get down to it. Crap, you've been very opinionated. All right, and I think a lot of people kind of get the gist already from where you've stated. But I do agree with you. And I think if you look at the past week, we said it on Xbox Nation. We said it on MNC. We've said it, and the guys on the panel have said it in their respected shows. This is a game that is getting a bit of slack for its multiplayer, okay? And I think rightfully so with some of the features that are missing.
Well, here, the thing is, a lot of these big sites are reviewing this game separately as multiplayer and single player, and they're giving the single player 4.5, 5.5, 5.0, right? So that's the point that I would say, hey, you know, this is like, look, and again, Metacritic isn't the be-all, end-all, right? I think we all admit that. But a high Metacritic is usually something that's critically acclaimed is going to be something that's pretty good. So this thing, it's back up to a 60, guys. Huzzah. So you look at it, and they have positive reviews, mixed reviews, and negative. It's got 5 positive, 40 mixed, 6 negative. So that should basically tell you everything you need to know. And a lot of the stuff is, it's repetitive. The story's bad. You know what I mean? It's it's difficult development, so it's bad because it had difficult development.
Did you get a chance to watch any of the guys streaming it, the big media outlets streaming it, though? Man, I'll tell you something. It looks. Do you guys remember what was it there? Austin Powers when they stole his mojo. Yeah. It almost seems like I watched all of them. I watched Game Informer. I watched a Kind of Funny. They did a 50-minute stream of the game. Man, I'm telling you right now, it was like everybody had their mojo removed. Like everybody looked so lackluster, so stone-faced. Like, I'm having a good time. It's not bad. I don't really know what you're doing here. What's this thing? I'm not sure. Nice fluorescent lights. You know, and that's all I saw. And I'm like,
the thing is, it looks so good. Everybody that said it looked like a 360 game, like now they know it's not. The HDR pops in 4K. It's amazing. To be honest with you, there are some parts where I'm playing it. It reminds me a lot of Sunset Overdrive. Graphically, with the neon lights and stuff like that. So it is very pretty to look at. Again, I played it all afternoon. I had a really good time with that. I think that if they had rebranded this, just a reboot to Crackdown, they called it Crackdown something, right? Or just Crackdown. I think maybe that would have been easier pill to swallow. Terry Crews does a really good job. That intro is fantastic.
How about that for a critique, guys? What do you guys think about that crap? And you as well. A lot of people were saying that a lot of people were excited to play as Terry Crews, right? So you could play as Terry Crews, but a lot of people said even when they were playing, they're like, after the intro, like they wanted more Terry Crews like screaming, you know what I mean? Like drop the boom, you know what I mean? Like something massive to come, and there was not as much of that. Do you guys feel like they kind of had a missed opportunity there where they could have capitalized on having Terry in the game. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Oh, dude, he's cursing and yelling and everything. Like when
Not enough though, from what I'm hearing
playing.
from gamers.
It's a Terry Crews simulator, bro.
He sets the tone though. Like he gets you hyped, and then you drop into the game, and it's like it's gone.
Well, yeah, I mean, you start off as the vegan version of Terry Crews. So I mean, you have to be honest with you about it.
Wow. I mean, I thought myself personally, and everyone's saying it again that I've watched a good 5 or 6 streams now, only 10 minutes a pop. But as I've been able to watch that over the past 24 hours, I've seen people all say, I want to play as Terry Crews. And I think everyone feels that way. This is like Terry Crews' Crackdown is what they should have called it. And I just felt like it was a lost opportunity. More sound effects. I know he does say things, Xbot. You're not wrong. But I think that they could have utilized his voice and the character he brings even more.
I think the more you build him up, the more
the louder he gets.
Yeah,
he gets very more bamboo. Well, all the agents do. They all talk more as they get bigger. They get a little more bold. Is the way to describe it.
They get roided up.
Don, let's be real honest here. You've been a big advocate of this game, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You haven't held it in. You don't usually go to bat for a lot of things, and I think it's because you're a fan of the actual game itself, the original. What do you think are the pros and cons now that you've gotten hours played? You probably were playing it before in certain access before, but what do you think is the pros and cons, and what do you think is what upholds in these low Metacritic scores?
I don't think even the higher or the low Metacritic scores really hold up, because here's the thing, and I read through several of them, and they're not factual things. They're opinion pieces with no valid opinions. They're not based on any sort of facts, majority of them. And so, I mean, I'm sure there's a couple that are, and you can self-evaluate if you're one of those people that wrote it, or you're reading, or you're invested in one of those articles. But look and see if they base what they're saying off actual facts, and they really don't. And that's where it's a little bit frustrating. I knew it was going to be a divisive title, and what I see from Metacritic is realistically people trying to get clicks, the highs and the lows. They're just trying to outdo one another to make it controversial, so you go to their site, and that's all I really see in regards to that. I don't see people that actually turn on the game, try to see what the game is about, and evaluate the game by itself, which you should do with any game, right? You should judge the game by itself and what it actually is. And what it is this constant on the move mayhem. It's the can't stop, won't stop. Like, you just shoot and blow up things constantly. You can't stay in one place for any period of time. And, that may not appeal to some people, but it appeals to me. That's for sure. And it's one of my funnest games this year so far.
Don, let me ask you this much. In BK ED study, he says something in the chat here. He says, Mooch, how do you feel about the downgrade compared to Spider-Man's puzzles? And it's funny because BK, I know what you're I know what he's trying to get at. He's trying, I don't know if necessarily we can count the 2015 tech demo as the gameplay.
It's called a technical demonstration. It was not.
It's a proof
of concept.
Yeah, it was a proof of concept. Exactly.
Yeah, this happens in the industry all the time. There's always like what they call proof of concepts they do out there. Most of the public don't get to see that. Where Microsoft went wrong is they show that to the public.
Yep,
they shouldn't have.
Right, agreed.
And they admitted it too. They said we talked about the cloud stuff a little too soon, because technically all the technology that's in there, they can scale it up that way if they wanted to. The thing is, how do you get that to work over a network with a bunch of people logging in all at the same time and all that sort of stuff? Right. So the technology stacks there. Depending on how you want to make and build the game from there is, it's up to the team. And I think they did a good job of when they showed a tech test, technical demo, what the actual product, what you can do with the technology was kind of a hierarchy concept. But when you play the multiplayer, it makes sense. Like shooting a little window hole for be able to shoot a sniper is never going to work in that gameplay. It's not going to work for Crackdown. It can work for something else that maybe someone else comes up with. But as far as Crackdown goes, it doesn't work. So
what's the problem? But what was the problem? Why did this game launch without the ability to invite your friends? I mean, can you give us the layman's terms, even if it's just your hypothesis on it?
I have guesses, just as much as anybody else. But I think when we played, me, Bot, Mel, we had a bunch of people in a party, and we had the early access thing where we were playing it and streaming it all. I'm like, I can't invite you guys, and all of a sudden my heart just sunk, and I realized this may be in the final game. And everyone's like, no, Microsoft wouldn't do that. And I'm like, no, from a latency standpoint, I totally can see this being a problem.
So it's like where everybody was like, where everybody is gaming from. You being from Utah, I noticed like me, Snaps, and Blades, we're on the East Coast. We were getting partnered up a lot together. You see what I'm saying?
Even when you and I got a chance, when we actually got in a match together for the early tech test, I froze out.
Yeah.
And, and that could be just one little edge case that has nothing to do with it, or it may have to do something to do with it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: it's now you're sending signals to two separate places across the United States in the opposite directions, and then back to the same server in the middle. That may be a little bit more challenging. It seems like they're willing to thinking they can do it. It's up to them to be transparent about it, though, going forward.
Thank you.
Here's the thing: is like you just got to look at the game as value. Great single player, fun multiplayer is fun, but you did a trade off. You traded it off at this given point in time. You traded off the ability to matchmake with your friends, and play together. That's something that should weigh into criticism of the game. You shouldn't. There's nothing to protect there. That's what it is. And as I said before, anything that's online or doing some of these stuff over the internet, any perpetual games that are online, that anything from multiplayer to perpetual worlds, they're going to have problems. So the question is, did they do the right thing in the sense of leaving it out at launch and possibly introducing it later? I 100% think they didn't do the right thing about being transparent about it. But was this the right thing to do or not? And I don't know because
Don, this is the first time I'm seeing this entire generation a digital download with two separate downloads. I mean, I knew that was a red flag weeks ago when this came out. I'm like, what is that all about? I mean, myself personally, and I think Don, I think you're alluding to this. I'll make it short and sweet and see what the rest of you guys think. I think this game should have launched as Crackdown the reboot. I don't know why everyone in crap. You said it yourself earlier in the show. This game is Crackdown. It's Crackdown, but on steroids, right? So
it's like
why
like
Crackdown 3?
It should be a reboot, just Crackdown, right? Like,
yes,
and I
Crackdown.
think
We're back.
Yeah, I think that's what it should be, right? They're like Crackdown 3. To me, it reminds me so much of Crackdown 1. It does add some new abilities and things like that. It's got a little more life to it. Yeah, and it's got new weapons. The weapons actually reminds me there's more weapon variety than Sunset Overdrive. So there's a lot of cool weapons. You're like, oh, what's that do? Oh, what's that do? You can pick up and throw about any damn thing you want. You can drive in any car you want, wreck stuff up. There's a lot of fun to be had in that game. So you do scratch your head a little bit at what some of the people are saying. It's way more alive than the version that got an 83 Metacritic 10 years ago, right? Like there's people everywhere. There's you can hear ambient. They scream, and there's like the dictator's voices going off over here and over there, and all the side stuff that you got to stop. There's just a lot. Seems to be a lot of stuff going on.
Super fun stuff.
Yeah, and like for me, it was just like I thought maybe it'd be boring and stuff because there were times in the first Crackdown where I was bored. This one so far, after hours, just like there's always something to do. I'm not a side quest guy or a collector guy, but you do want to get the orbs because they actually level your ass up. So you do get that constant thing. It's not as lame as, oh, let me go get a backpack. You know what I mean? Let me go climb up this guy's crotch and get a backpack. It's not like that because this actually is helping you in the game right here and now. So yeah, I don't understand. I think they did a good job. I think, unfortunately, a lot of people are going to be turned off by the reviews, but at the very least, try it in Game Pass because I think that it's worthwhile, and everybody that's really played it seems to be having a good time with it. So hey, good on you guys for saying screw you to some of these reviews and trying it out anyway.
Well, this is the first time I can remember in the longest time, folks. You guys know I've always said usually any news is any kind of publicity is good publicity, even if it's bad in other businesses. That's not usually the way it is in gaming. I'm seeing a lot of people playing Crackdown 3, even people that I know don't like it, are playing it to actually get their consensus. And a lot of people are saying, okay, I still don't think it's my bag, but I'm down to play this game. It's not as bad as I thought it was. So
yeah, I still don't like it, but I'm going to play it for another 10, 15 hours. And
that's me.
Yeah, clowns, good example, right? You're not a fan of it, but you're playing it. And what kind of drives you back to the game?
I'm going to be honest with you. I need to give it a fair shake. I'm not just going to go like all the other reviewers and be like, oh my God, I'm not a fan of Crackdown, so I'm not going to play all of it and I'm just going to trash it. No, I'm actually going to play through it and see if I like it. There might be a point 2 hours in, I might start liking the game a lot.
Yeah, no, I don't. And I can't believe he's been this quiet. He must be making dinner down there, throwing a pizza pie in the air. Boom, Bostic.
Yeah, well,
boom. What is going on? I mean, are you a big fan? I know you're playing it, and what's your take on what you've seen going on through meta, through the media, through social media, and then what you're hearing right now on the panel, which seems to be fairly positive reviews as far as enjoying their time with the game?
First of all, regarding social media and even the chat, okay, when we started talking about it, and I'm not going to name anybody because everyone's entitled to their opinion.
That's
right? So and that's good on them. You start seeing the damage control. And my biggest effing problem with social media, especially Twitter, is God effing forbid you should like something. And because you like it, people start acting like dicks. And then consider you damage controlling because you like the game. Listen, I think it's a very, very simple way to describe this. If you're a Crackdown fan, you are loving this every minute you're playing it. Like I said earlier, Don and I, we streamed it for an hour and a half, and all we did is laugh the whole time. We traded weapons.
My cheeks still hurt from smiling.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
It's that type of game.
Yeah, and you know what? When you first start out, which is if you look at a lot of these reviews, Mooch, these knucklehead people are reviewing. Listen, the first hour or two, you're a skinny little nothing. You don't have any strength. You have a handgun, and you're lucky to find a machine gun, and you don't have any of your powers. Now I'm jumping and lifting cars, going all over the place. I'm
How many hours in are you? Boom.
5. I'm 5 hours in, and I literally I looked at the time like, holy shit, I'm going to be late for CrossFire. Let me put this down. I'm going to come back as soon as CrossFire is over. Look, again, if it's not your bag, I get it. I completely understand. I am not going to try and sell you on the game. But here is where I draw the line. If people are posting their pictures and truly enjoying this game, stop being dicks. Okay? Let the people enjoy the game. If you don't enjoy it, I hear that. But you don't have to give your miserable opinion about everything, because guess what? Your opinion doesn't matter.
Well, I got news for you guys. With that being said, I want to say, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, enjoy the show. We got a heck of a panel here, and you guys in social media are ruining officer friendly for all of us. Okay?
No, I mean, like Mooch, I have to. I have to be serious about this, because all I've seen is people wanting to just pile on. Yep. And like I said, if it isn't the game that you thought it was going to be, you don't have to buy it.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Boom. I said this a week ago too. I said this game is for Crackdown fans.
Yes.
So the 1 to 3 million people that like this series.
Yes.
Right. Like,
that's
it's not gonna.
Too.
Yeah. Like those are the people. Now, I was on N4G earlier, and I was reading an article about did it live up to the 2015 thing, which was a proof of concept. So it's ridiculous to really compare it to. Bottom line is they promised a fully destructible world for the multiplayer. We got that. Promise kept, in my opinion. But with that being said, and I get it, right? Because I was sounding off yesterday about the game, right? I was being kind of a smart ass about it, making fun of it, because you see all these terrible reviews for it, right? And it's just like, you're like, oh, here we go again. Another mediocre GamePass game. Because I do believe that while Microsoft has made strides to get quality content out, I also believe we're going to see mediocre games as well from them still, right? Like, we're going to still get In Exile, for instance. They're going to give us, 60 to 70. Yeah. Compulsion's going to give us 60 to 70 games. Stated, what is that? Undead Labs. Where they're going to continue to pump out these glitchy, buggy zombie games that are going to give us 60 to 70. So they're going to have those mediocre games that they're going to keep pushing out. So, but I also fully believe that, the Ninja Theories, the Playground Games, the Initiatives, the Coalition, these developers are going to give us the true AAA games that we need, and the high quality ones that we want. The problem is, as long as, like for me personally, after you play the game, and so many people that are complaining, A, never wanted to play the game, B, haven't played the game,
Right,
or C,
exactly.
are just piling on because, hey, it's fun to hate on Xbox. So I get it. Like when people get upset at me, Xbox fans get upset at me. I'm Crap Gamer and I'm bashing Xbox. I get it because everywhere you look, you're getting a boot, right?
Yeah.
The media, this person, that person, this YouTuber, that YouTuber, this one saying it's this gaming, this game. You know what I mean? Like I get it. And here's Crap Gamer, who I go to get positive Xbox news. He's trashing stuff too. Like, but look, you guys have to learn to tune out the anti-Xbox crowd, right?
Yes.
Because we all know who they are.
Right.
Like, why would you go to that for Xbox news?
They're
to
all
begin with?
the
I
ones
don't get
who
it.
defended the Order 1886. They defended Killzone like it was nothing, like it was a great game. But then
Exactly. And you know, so for me personally, like I said, you know, I get why people were frustrated at that point at me sort of lashing out at it. Because I think it is average.
You know, but Crap, you know what though? You shouldn't get that hate because
exactly, I shouldn't because I'm an Xbox guy trying to say, hey, you guys got to do better. But it just seems like piling on top of a big pile on already.
It does seem that way, but that's not the case. You got to look deeper than the cover of the book, folks. You know, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people always write all the time, like, "What's the deal with that title or that headline or that clickbait?" Guys, you got to actually watch the show or read the book or read the article. You got to do your due diligence to do your homework on it. And the point of the matter is that I agree with Crap. I was a little hard on it too. Now, I've said this all week. I've said it all month. I've said it all year. I've said it all generation. I'm not a big Crackdown fan. Does that mean I won't try it out? I'll try it out. The bigger problem I have with Crackdown and the issue at hand is I kind of peeled the onion a few layers deeper. And mine was a little bit more of, you know, a lot of people were saying this to me over the past 4, 5, 6 weeks on podcasts. Mooch, I don't see why you're so hard with it. It's going to be a Game Pass. Play it if you want. Don't if you don't. Well, that's where I have a problem. You know, Game Pass, and I put this in the title, and there's other companies that are running with this as other slogans, is that people are starting to feel that, you know, Game Pass is becoming the pinnacle of mediocrity. And that's because you're seeing 65 to 72 meta score. Again, I don't care
the
much about
exclusives.
meta.
Now they're going to be
exclusive. Yes.
Yeah, there's quality stuff in there, but it's usually older quality stuff.
But think about it, Crap. And I know people, listen, Phil and company are all riding the Netflix coattails, okay? When you think about Netflix, okay, yeah, Avengers is in there, okay? Thor's in there. These other movies are in there that are big-time movies. Think of them as third-party in air quotes, okay? But when people say, I got Netflix, what are they talking about? Ozark. Okay, they're talking about all the Netflix exclusives, the Daredevils, the Punishers. That's what they're talking about.
You know, it's funny, Mooch. I saw an article today that said it was a Crackdown 3 review. It said Crackdown 3 is the Netflix original movie of Game Pass from Microsoft, right?
I think Bird Box has got a better reception than this.
Yeah, well, I mean, look,
I don't know. Cisco and Ebert today, they're trash that, right? Like that's the thing is. You have these critics. Here's the thing. I don't think Microsoft can win over the critics. I don't think it's possible. They can have a perfect game. They won't win them over. But they can win over the gamer, and they can win over developers. And I've said this before. I don't think it's a fight that they can win at this point. So Game Pass is a perfect example where they can go to consumer direct. Mixer is another example where they go to consumer direct.
You are reading my mind, Don. What is going on here?
Twitch is another example where you can go consumer direct. I don't care what they do in the next Halo. I expect them to be irrationally harsh on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what they do. The next Gears is going to be really harsh.
Yeah, I don't get that.
You saying that, and Enrique, I'm going to pass the mic to you in 1 second. I just want to say one thing real quick to the Don. Don, if that's the sentiment, we already know we have a problem with leadership. Go ahead, Enrique. You take it away from there.
I don't agree with this idea of that they can't win over critics because they have won over critics. I mean, Ori and the Blind Forest, great game. Cuphead, great game.
Both double A's though, Enrique.
Yeah. Well, but still, they're still Microsoft exclusives. I mean,
well, here, hold on. No, let me combat that real quick. I feel like Ori would have been a 90-something meta if it had been a PlayStation exclusive. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yes, I agree. I'm sorry. I agree with that.
And that's kind of like that. And
I know those aren't Microsoft first part. Those are like indie darlings or whatever that Microsoft attached to. You know what I mean? Like,
what I'm saying, like Forza is considered the pinnacle of racing games now, and it took that from a game, Gran Turismo, that was the pinnacle for so many years. You know, and so I don't necessarily agree. I just don't think Microsoft first party is putting a lot of quality content out. I think that's the issue. It's not a media bias thing. I know I said this to you, Mooch, and DM. I don't necessarily think it's a media bias thing. I just think it's like they're not putting out good products right now, and that's it.
Well, I think right now, you're right, Enrique. But I think with time, it's going to be interesting, and it's great that we all have our shows, Enrique. You know, as the years go on, and as Halo Infinite comes out, what if what Don just said ends up being the truth, where we all agree this game is stellar, it's stupendous, right? And then you still see these low scores coming through. At some point, you have to say, is this something where it's a grudge against Microsoft and the media, or is it not? And right now, I'm with you. I'm on your train. This is
here's the thing, Mooch. I don't think it's a grudge, though. I don't think it's a grudge at this point. I think because it generates clicks. That's really what it boils down to.
Well, either way, now, okay, so you know what, Don, please finish your thought. But Enrique, I want you to hear this sentiment, because this is what I've been saying. Whether it generates clicks or not, no matter how you slice it, at the end of the day, that's where you hit some of this. You feel like it's biased. Maybe it's not true bias by definition, but it ends up being that way because of these clicks. Don, I kind of agree with what you're saying. They're doing it for money.
We were just talking about Crackdown, right? You look at the Mediocrity scores. Obviously, like, everyone thinks some of the 40s are kind of out of their mind. And I would argue maybe the guy that gave it a 90 is a little bit out there as well.
Yeah, out there, absolutely.
Because I love the game, but I don't think it's a 90 by any means. I think it's anywhere from mid 7s to mid 8s, right? Like somewhere in that window on average. And no one's even close. You can tell that they're trying to score it in a way that gets them attention. And the fact that they're not backing up what they say, their opinions, with facts is a little discouraging for me. Because, like, here's the thing. You're supposed to be considered professional. Okay, you're not going to be scoring on its own merit. You're giving an opinion piece. That's great. Fine. Do an opinion piece.
Yeah.
Base your opinion on facts. That's all your viewers are asking for. And you're not delivering on that front. And that's where it's really a problem. And this has really been a problem it's been a growing problem with the media across the board, honestly, since I think early 360 PlayStation 3 era. Mm-hmm. But the trend has changed from hating PlayStation 3 to hating Xbox. Instead of looking at games at their own merit and what they are, identify what they are, and judge it accordingly. And I don't see that actually occurring. You know, the trend goes every single title that comes out. That's
what's really depressing about what you're saying, Don, is that journalism's dead.
Yeah,
right? Because that's what you're saying ultimately. Because now what we're going to do, and Enrique, you've done some great clip art on Twitter and shown the difference between what happened in the 360 PS3 era to today, right? So if this is what we're going to do, and we're going to keep just changing sides based upon popularity, I got news for you and everybody in the audience. This isn't to the panel. The panel knows this because the panel does podcasts. Okay, this is to the audience. You guys are better off listening to YouTubers than going to these big sites because they're no different, but they just have a bigger antenna. Okay,
I think Don agrees with that, though.
Like, you know,
I mean, people that listen to me agree with that as well. Like, not a lot of people that, at least in the circles, and granted, I'm known on YouTube and doing podcasts with you guys, but most of the people rather go to their favorite YouTuber.
Don, speak to that poll. Speak to that poll you did, and I know you sent it out. I believe you sent it to Aaron, or you sent it to somebody at Xbox.
No, I sent it to Jez at Windows Central.
Oh, Jez, okay.
Yeah, because like he's trying to defend his job and his point. I totally get where he's coming from. And I have a lot of respect for Jez.
Jez does an outstanding job at Windows.
Yeah, most of the time he's on point, and he doesn't do the things I complain about or anything like that. But I would have to find it, but it's roughly about 200 votes. I have a followers roughly around 1,000, so a decent number of them. And it was like 85% would rather see the game industry go towards smaller YouTubers versus big gaming outlets.
Yeah,
and that's huge. Now, obviously, it's a little bit more slanted based on my audience. I totally get that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But the thing is, if you're not offering facts and you're offering just simply opinion, then you become no different than anyone else that can get on the internet and whatever platform they want to use to express themselves. And that's kind of where we're at in regards to this. You know, and as I said before, I don't think the game's perfect by any means. I have certain things I would honestly talk behind the scenes with the developer, what I would suggest and stuff like that behind the scenes differently. But the harsh reality, it's a playable game.
Yeah.
It didn't crash. It didn't do any of that sort of stuff. Like, It's a fun game. And
would you say the game is polished for all of you that have played it?
No,
I haven't found any issues. So
I think it's fine. I haven't found any issues. I haven't had any getting stuck in walls or anything. The game just looks fantastic.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
it's a
it's
little weird at the
5.
beginning. I would say, wouldn't you say that?
Say it again, Don. I apologize.
It feels a little weird at the beginning when you're low level. It feels
like your
clunky.
guy kind of bumps off the wall a little bit more. It's a little harder to grab onto the ledge and stuff. And then once you start really leveling up your agility, it gets a lot smoother and everything like that. But I just want to address real quick what Mooch said about Game Pass and being kind of like the world of mediocrity. I am so happy that Game Pass is out there now. For games, for people who like games like the people who are getting into State of Decay 2, people who like Sea of Thieves, people who are getting into Crackdown, all right? Because like it or not, no matter what the Metacritic score says or anything like that, there are definitely going to be people trying out this game and basically producing their own opinion. And to me, this is bringing it back to like when I was growing up as a gamer and bringing kind of like that sense of fun back. Because it's not necessarily about the score. It's not necessarily about the resolution or this with the graphics. If you have fun playing the game, you are going to continue playing the game. And with Game Pass, you get it for $10 a month. You're not putting the $60 on the game. I wouldn't write off. I wouldn't sign my name on saying, you know what, you should get Crackdown for $60. I will not do that, right? But that
speaks volumes, though, Xbot.
I won't do. I think it was a huge blunder when it came to the multiplayer. All right. To me, that is inexcusable. To me, that is a big kind of like boulder to work around, in my opinion, my personal preference. All right. Yeah. I should have I got into Wrecking Zone today with a squad that didn't know what the hell to do, man. I was getting all the badges, right? I was getting all the badges for our team, got completely wiped out, and I don't have any other option besides going back and then going back into the game and hoping I have a better crew with me. But
let me go back. Let me go back a step, Xbox, to what you just said about Game Pass, and I think the audience really wants to chew on this nugget for a second. Okay, for a lot of people that are in Game Pass, a lot of people that listen to all of our shows, they're the hardcore audience, right? They're the hardcore audience. A lot of people, and that's why I kind of put this in our topics. To the hardcore audience, a lot of people kind of feel like Game Pass is the land of misfit toys. Okay, because the problem is that, well, hear me out, Boom. Boom, you already, especially Boom, especially you. I call Senor Bombastic to the stand. Senor Bombastic, hear me out. You already have all the great games that are in their third party. You own them. Hardcore own them. So when you get Game Pass, you know what you're looking for? Xbox exclusives. And it feels like the land. It's a Charlie in the box instead of a Jack in the box.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, I got it. Mooch, I hear what you're saying, but I got to disagree with you. You know, the issue is this. Okay, you have to understand the gaming scope with how many titles come out on a weekly basis is so massive that they're devouring each other, trying to get someone to see them. Okay, you know when you look at Xbox Game Pass, you look at what they're doing. Listen, when you go to Netflix, okay, and they have all of their original content now it's a really big thing, right? But there are so many movies in there trying to get your attention. You know, I sometimes my wife and I will spend 20 minutes just looking through like what's new and saying, "Oh, let's take a look at this," because we watch everything. You know, everything under the sun. We have no real preference. So
let me ask you this though: when you go watch Netflix with your wife, do you look at reviews first, or you just play the movie?
No, we just play the movie. I don't look at reviews.
So that's the difference, I think. From what Mooch is trying to say. Mooch is trying to say, hey, people look at the reviews. No one tries out Netflix. If you have Game Pass, you're going to try it, regardless if it's
absolutely
or not. Here's the thing, and then once you get to play it, guess what? My opinion, everyone's opinion on this podcast, every opinion of every major publishing site doesn't matter.
Exactly. No, I agree, but you know what? To Mooch, but I mean, to Mooch's point, like I see what you're saying, Mooch. Like, okay, yeah, well, right now, there's a lot of games in there, and I'm not sure who said it, shovelware. Well, I don't personally think so because there are so many games. Like, for instance, Human Fall Flat. I would have never played that game, and that game is absolutely outstanding.
And that's where Game Pass value comes through for the hardcore, right? Because there's no way you would have bought that game, Humans Fall Flat. No way that even hits the radar. That's not in the gaming media. Nobody puts that out there. Fine. But the problem is, though, you also wouldn't give me $10 a month to play Humans Fall Flat. Okay? What's happening is we're creating this pool right now of just the thing that's supposed to sell Game Pass to you is the exclusives. Again, I have to go back to Netflix because that's what everyone seems to use, and Xbox is using it. Okay, again, you go back there for what? You go back there for your Marvel series. You've got your Ozarks. You've got things like that are in there that people give a crap about. You don't want to go back there because you know what? Hey, boom, you know what? I just got Netflix. You won't believe this. I've never seen it before. But if it wasn't for Netflix, I never would have watched 1984's showing of What About Bob? Like, that's in there, right? What About Bob is in Netflix, but nobody cares. So the Humans Fall Flat thing doesn't hold water with me because I'm paying that $10 a month for that. Go ahead, Enrique. I'll let you take. I have another.
That plus like 190 some odd more games, man.
No, I was going to say that for me the concern with Game Pass and again I don't want to beat the whole media bias thing, but you know, and I said this to you in DM. My concern about the whole focusing on negative reviews and media bias is that at the end of the day, maybe it doesn't hold Microsoft accountable because they're the ones that made this game, and then if we're saying to them, hey, we accept this because it's in Game Pass and we're paying $10, we're okay with paying.
That's all everyone ever says.
Mediocre games. Yeah. Then you run the danger of, okay, are they going to take that as, okay, we're okay with giving our gamers shovelware, and I don't want to see shovelware. In Game Pass. That's not.
I agree wholeheartedly with that comment.
I was gonna say I hear what you're saying, but when you look at what's coming on down the line, you got Ori 2, you got the next Gears, just to name a couple exclusives on Xbox's side. Do you really think that those games are gonna what happened with Crackdown is gonna happen with like Ori 2 and the next iteration of Gears?
No, I don't think so. But
it's not shovelware.
But we're hitting a. I feel like we're kind of in this streak now with them where there's these games that have come out that just really haven't, reviewed well or haven't performed well, and that's my concern. And then when people start saying, "Oh, well, it's okay because it's a Game Pass," or it's the fucking media that's ruining this game. Don't listen to them. My concern is like, let's not excuse bad games because some games are just bad, and that's just reality.
Enrique,
I think that's true, but the people that matter is the people that spend the money.
Not just that, but Enrique, I want to say something though. Think about what you just said. People saying, "Oh, it's in Game Pass, so it doesn't matter," and the gaming media is saying they're critiquing it. Doesn't. The problem is though is these are all influencers. Okay, these are people that are out there. They change the way you perceive what's happening, and so it's easy for us to say that, Enrique. But what happens is when you do have every media outlet giving the review that they did, and like you saw, I know you watched the 6-minute video of Destin Legary and Ryan McCaffrey, right? If you watch that is not. Listen to the people on this panel. Listen to the people on. You see them. We're all friends with the same people on Twitter, having so much fun with Crackdown. You're not getting that. You're not even getting that. This game is #fun. The media is only bashing it. And that's the problem. And that's
let me say this because I think it is a concern, and it like I think most of us have just like they just got these new studios, so most of us are kind of wait and see. It's frustrating. I get that, but I also look at like the 18 months where we got nothing. We all kind of know the situation there. So if Crackdown is the last mediocre one on the horizon for a while, then and I think it is because if you look at what's coming up next, it's going to be Ori 2, it's going to be Gears, it's going to be Halo Infinite, it's going to be Ninja Theories, it's going to be Playground Games Fable, it's going to these are all it looks like the initiative's hiring for some crazy insane project with Sony's best developers. So I think that we are going to get quality if they were just trying to shovelware and just get shit out.
Well,
I think that the thing would be like Crackdown's a finished game, right? It's like it's finished. It does need that update. Like you could have probably held back the multiplayer, I guess. But what we're going to see going forward is incredibly polished games. I think if they were just going to shove shit out, we'd get a Forza Motorsport this year. Because
the difference though, crap, between what you said, and I know this wasn't where you were going, but I thought that was really interesting. I like where you went with that. The difference between the initiative grabbing the Sony talent and other people from big AAA studios and what I have yet to see. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing because I don't know yet. But the one thing I do have to say right now is that I'm concerned with Xbox leadership and how they handle their game studios. And when these people were working for Sony, you saw Sean Layden, right? What is it? First, must, and something else. It's
best.
And best, right?
Yes.
When Sean Layden does a site tour, I see him walking around with one of those old wooden rulers, like slapping people on the wrist. Like, no lunch for you. Get back to work. You know,
Mooch, I gotta say
see Phil
something.
walking around with a tray being like, warm coffee or latte? No, sugar's over there. Yep, no problem. And it's like, I just want to see a little bit more of that cutthroat, because you take these guys, right? And the only thing I'm seeing from pictures from the initiative, I'm seeing buffets. I'm seeing them out for drinks.
Hold on, Mooch.
Hold on. I gotta say something though.
All right,
I want to say that Xbox has a lot of balls to go ahead and make Crackdown 3 happen, because a lot of people predicted it'd be canceled. A lot of people wanted it canceled. But they have the balls to go ahead and do this for their fans. So Xbox has a lot of balls, in my opinion.
A lot of balls. But yo,
Big balls.
Yo, Mooch, check this out. Like, what you're saying about Sean Layden, all right? I hear you, and it sounds really good on the surface. But at the end of the day, you got to remember, these companies know what each other is doing. And if Xbox is really doubling down on making this service, this Game Pass, and really having a wide variety of budget and game development there, he would counteract what they're gonna do with having exclusives that are mid-budget up to triple and quadruple A. He will counteract that with saying, you know what, we're gonna have less exclusives, but we're gonna make sure they are absolutely polished to all hell. It's not about quantity, it's about quality, because he's looking over there at Xbox and he's like, you know what, they're about to bring that quantity. We need something to combat that. And that's what I see when I hear that.
You know what, Bot, I like where you're going with this, and I'm going to have to pile on a little bit, because here's the thing. I first of all, let me just say this. I actually really dig Sean Layden. I think the guy is a businessman.
I've gotten a lot of respect for him.
I really do. I know. Mooch.
Yeah.
I know everyone breaks his balls about the big man in a little suit. Just leave the guy alone. Maybe he likes pizza. Leave him alone. Okay.
We all like pizza.
Hey,
Okay.
I don't like pizza. Who doesn't like pizza?
Here's the
do is ask to get crossplay, and they'll do it. Right?
Well, listen, that's he
kind of fibbed about that.
Yeah, he kind of put his foot in his mouth. But I am going to say this about Sean Layden, okay? I like how he talks about the first parties. I like what Sony does with their first parties. But the thing is this, okay? He has to say what he's saying right now, and here is the reason why. We know what Sony did in 2018. It was amazing. Crab gave God of War 10 out of 10. Loved Detroit Become Human. A lot of people hated it. Like me, like him, I loved it.
Yep.
Spider-Man, you played it in 172 hours of
I've got well over 60 hours into that.
Okay.
I can't believe it.
I put over 60 hours into it.
I must have
Absolutely.
put 20.
Yeah.
into
Okay.
it.
Well, I mean, this 20 is 20, but my point is that right now, the reason there's a pattern that no one is talking about. Okay, everyone immediately equates to Sony wanting to save money, missing all of these shows, and that's not the truth at all. The truth is what we've discussed many times. They have nothing to show. Right, a lot of these games are way off. Ghost of Tsushima looks amazing. I don't think you're getting that until the launch of the PS5. Death Stranding. 2027. Good luck with that. Whenever that decides to
You know what
come
though,
out.
Boom? It doesn't matter, because here's the thing: they've got Dreams and they've got Days Gone. And Days Gone's looking better and better every
Days Gone
minute.
look fantastic. I have the collector's edition.
And next
for
year,
pre-order.
folks, I mean, I'm making a Mooch prediction here, and I don't think you have to really give me any credit here. The writing's on the wall. It's the same thing they did last generation, and we are getting The Last of Us 2 next year, I believe. And,
Probably.
Before it'll be the sign off to the PS4, and then of course you'll have a
cross
PS5.
launch.
Absolutely. And it'll be outstanding.
Oh
okay?
yeah, of course.
So,
The Last of Us 2 is going to be
they
a
don't need-
game of the year.
And then, what we're talking about is you're going to have Death Stranding and Ghosts in their back pocket to combat what you're going to have with the Initiative, Halo Infinite, and things of that caliber. So my point being is, I think that Sony's in a good position right now. They're not worried about games at this point. But I mean, Sean Layden has stressed to his people, this is how we're going to go forward. Okay. He's not everybody's friend on Twitter. Okay. He doesn't just say things to be cool.
Hey, he
get a
did
lot of
do some
likes.
kumbaya bullshit though. He's like
He did a kumbaya tweet, Crap. But I mean, Reggie's done a kumbaya. But
that's rubbing off, man. I mean, look,
Crap. The
one
next
of the things that
tweet's 18 months away.
One of the things I admired about the guy and Sony was they don't do that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like they're balls to the wall. And for him to go out there and be like, hey, you know, we're all just gamers here.
In fairness,
and,
Phil tweeted him first. No, Phil tweeted him first and was like, "That's great, showing you." He can't not respond.
No, the interview, dude. The interview. He was like, "Xbox is great, so Nintendo's great."
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, he did that in the interview.
Hey, Mooch, real quick, I just want to answer somebody in the chat if you don't mind. Calorex actually directs this at me, so I want to respond like a gentleman. He says Kojima has been hinting at a 2019 release. Have you not been following the actors or anything? And I want to talk about it just for 2 seconds.
Sure.
First of all, yes, I actually follow both of the actors on Twitter, and in the interviews that they both did, they had no idea what this game was. That's number one. Number two, Kojima himself said this game isn't coming out anytime soon. So the 2019 thing that you are talking about, dude, I just say go look at the articles. Go look at Kojima himself saying that the game isn't coming anytime soon.
He did say not anytime soon. And,
so I'm just saying that, that's where my facts come from, dude.
Yeah.
Whoa, what is that?
Get him a beer. Yeah.
Somebody get that kid a beer ASAP.
No. My 4-year-old done it. I said, go get me a beer.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I told him I'd give him $1.
That's awesome.
That's a good deal right there, man. You should take it.
No, I mean, I see where you guys are being valid with that, and Crap. If that was the speech, I missed it.
There is zero chance that Rodane guy in the Last of Us is 2019. Zero chance.
Zero.
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, yeah, no.
0.0.
That's right.
They're still hiring people for the game.
Yeah, they're correct. They're still hiring people.
Now here's the funny thing, right? Because Sean Layden said just because we didn't do E3 this year doesn't mean we won't do it next. Well, duh. You know what I mean? They're going to have a PlayStation 5 to launch at the end of 2020. Of course, they're going to do E3. And you know what they're going to announce? It doesn't take a genius. I'm not an insider, but hold on. I'm going to put my Swami hat on, Mooch. Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Another God of War.
Another God of War.
The Uncharted reboot. Like
can I get the 6 Mega Million numbers?
Spider-Man 2 is coming. My stinky sense is tingling. Dude, it doesn't take a genius to figure out what they're gonna announce because that they announce shit really, really early, and their fans like that, and that's fine. They don't put release years on their stuff even, so I guess they can get away with it. But I mean, like we know what they're going to bring to the table, and I think that's great. You know, the fans are going to love it.
What's interesting? We had David Jaffe on the show a couple weeks ago, and he thought that Microsoft was primed to steal Sony's lunch money. Yeah, and he said he really feels like they need to diversify and stop making those like games that third party perspective over the shoulder type games they've been doing.
I'll tell you this much, Enrique. Jaffe's a great guy. And speaking of great guys,
David Jaffe, though.
We've got Randall Soft Service here, Crap. I got your intro.
What's up, Rand?
Rand, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the show.
What's going on? I was busy listening to the show, and man, there's a lot of opinions flying around in this one. Huh?
I know you had a butterfly net. You couldn't catch them all, buddy. I got news for you. You had to have put a lot of time into Crackdown. I mean, what's your take on it? And can you combat any of these reviews?
I think
I want to say your review was fair and balanced.
There's fun to be had in Crackdown, right? It's Crackdown 1 remade with the new paint. The game looks great, at least on my LG. God, Mooch, you got an OLED?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, it makes every game look beautiful, doesn't it?
It looks like a painting that's still wet. That's how good it looks. God. It looks like it was just painted.
Wow.
It's like a brand new experience. Like
very true.
The games on the OLED, especially if they have really good HDR, like Sea of Thieves on that OLED it's
breathtaking, to be honest.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I actually think Crackdown 3 looks really good with the HDR on, like everything's vibrant. My issue with the game was a simple one. I got bored 5 hours in. And
interesting. I think you're in my camp because that's why I'm not a Crackdown fan, but do tell.
I mean, it's just I know it's like the exact same as Crackdown, like the agility, getting all the orbs is all fun. leveling up your agent is a great time, but like going around the map in that clockwise circle, literally clearing one monorail station and then clearing the chemical factory and then clearing a prisoner hardpoint, and you realize that that's all the game has to offer is just those points scattered across the map that it wants you to repeat ad nauseum. The only thing that's really different is the number of enemies. At that point, I was checked out of the game. I was just done.
Let me ask you this though, Rand, and the other people on the panel here that are big Crackdown fans, because I'm not, and I always say that. That's my my way out here. Isn't that what Crackdown was previously?
Dude,
or is that lacking?
It was in 2007.
No, well, it's that plus more. Now,
Well,
Rand,
can I mention something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me just throw this out there. I don't know how many of you guys played a game like what the hell's that damn game? Shadow of the Colossus. Oh, people really needed their white pants for that when they reviewed that, right? That game had some of the worst controls I've ever suffered through in my life. Good game, but terrible, awful controls, dead world, nothing going on. They remade the game completely. Everybody loved it, right? Nobody said that the game was stuck in the past or just the same game. It got the same exact score. The remake did as the original. Right. You look at what is that one that took them 100 years to come out with? The Last Guardian. The worst controls ever. Look like a PS2 goddamn game. Oh my God. 83 Metacritic. Great. Even though the controls, everybody's like, and when you read the reviews and watch reviews and they're like, horrible. You can never get the damn thing to do what you want to do. 9.5. And you just go, holy shit. What the hell? So what's the difference there between a game stuck in the past like those games and a game stuck in the past like Crackdown? Because, Uncharted is just going to be more Uncharted, and Gran Turismo is more Gran Turismo, and Forza is more Forza. Gears is going to be more Gears. Like, no matter what you do to it, it's still going to be Gears. It's still going to be that pop and lock thing. Like,
don't forget the great Corey Balrog, though, through a throwable axe, though, crap. He changed everything in,
yeah.
Right? That throwable axe. You should have put a throwable axe in Crackdown, apparently.
Well, I mean, it couldn't have hurt, right? Like, get Terry Crews. Somebody get Terry Crews a throwable axe.
Please.
So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying is there's a little bit of a difference there, and I notice it more because I'm an Xbox fan. But it is. If you go back and look at some of these reviews, and you want to say that there's no difference between the way people review these games, then look at the remakes for Gears 1, which scored significantly lower than the actual Gears 1, while these remakes for PlayStation games and Nintendo games score exactly the same as the originals.
Well, let me ask you this, Rand. Here's a quick question we kind of talked about on the show.
I don't know.
Who yells on a Friday? It's supposed to be your relaxation time.
Go look at it.
Go look at the remakes. Go look at the remakes for Sony and Nintendo games, and then look at the remakes that have been for the Xbox games, and then tell me, too much A button was a fucking thing. So, like, excuse me for thinking there's a little bit of a, difference between the way these people review games. I'm not saying Microsoft has done
too much A button now.
Exactly, too much A button, right?
A button games.
I mean,
or how about that damn Journey game? That game was garbage on a shit stick, and people fucking love that game, right?
Game of
oh
the
my
year,
god,
crap.
Journey! That was the most awful experience I've ever played in my life.
I played it and I didn't even know what was going on in Journey.
You can just hold left.
That game won Game of the Year.
Win. Yeah. It's Game of the Year. It was Game of the Year. I wasn't kidding. Rand, what do you think about Game Pass and what this does? I know moving forward, we've got 6-7 studios that are working hard diligently right now. That I can't critique. We don't know enough about them. But I've seen people in the media starting calling Game Pass the land of mediocrity because when it comes down to it, it's about the exclusives, isn't it?
I mean, 3 of the last 4 games have been mediocre, right?
Right. And I mean, that's
hold
why
on. I know the scores, man. You got a 60. Hold on. You got a 69. You got a 66. You got a 92, and then you got a 60. So yeah, 3 out of 4. Damn mediocre. Damn mediocre. I tell you.
But I don't think that's gonna be the See, all those games were in development a long time ago. Sea of Thieves 2014, State of Decay 2014, Crackdown 2014. Crackdown changed developers halfway through.
Right.
They weren't even going to do a single player at one point. It was just going to be the multiplayer. So, like, even though
would that have had a party lobby system in it if it was just multiplayer?
Who knows? It is weird that there is no party lobby system, and I've talked to friends at Xbox about it, and they will not.
What's Daddy Ibarra say?
No word. It's tight-lipped on that front.
Well,
Must
I got to
be
tell you,
some,
Rand, it is a little bit concerning that Phil and company are talk about everything, but then when it comes to their own games, if it isn't promoting some kind of SWJ shit, they don't have anything to say.
Well, I didn't. Normally, whenever Sony and Nintendo launches a game, I always see you two, Mooch and Crap. You always say, because Microsoft always, says, "Hey, congrats on such and such for launching such and such games. Great." I didn't see Sony or Nintendo thank congrats Microsoft on launching Crackdown.
No.
Did you?
No.
But then again, if they did, maybe that would seem to be a shot. Like, hey, congrats on launching a 60 meta. Congratulations.
I see what you're saying there.
You know what I mean? So
it's good for the goose, good for the gander, right, Rand?
Then they should definitely congratulate them because that's what they've done this whole generation. Hey, good on them, man.
I've said this before. I think good things are coming for Xbox. I think the games that they're working in the pipeline are going to be amazing. I expect.
But Rand, are we getting these good games as long-suffering Xbox fans? Are we getting these good games where they're going to be exclusives to us, or are we getting these games that are also going to be on every goddamn thing in their mother? Right? Like, I think that's the real question. Like, are these going to be Switch games, or are these going to be?
I've heard Ori 2 and Cuphead are about to go to Switch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, if you're gonna put Hellblade there,
I don't know about Halo or anything like that, but I have heard talk of Ori 2, Cuphead, and Super Lucky's Tale all making the move to Switch relatively soon.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see if it actually happens, but like, I think all Xbox needs, and I've said this for years, is a string of great games. That's all they need, right? Gears 5 to be a widely critical success, Ori 2 to be a critical success, Ninja Theory's next game to be a success, and then the tide, or at least the perception around Xbox will change. All people want is a great game. The people making fun of Xbox will continue to make fun of Xbox, and they will say, oh, Xbox has a great game. Xbox is still useless. I'll play it on my PC. That's the worst they're going to be able to say if the games are good, is that I'll just play it on my PC or I'll play it on my Switch. At that point, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
At least that's to me. But Crap, I don't know if you saw, rescued a dog today, bro.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter, man. Congrats on you. Make
That's
sure,
awesome.
did you guys get him checked out and stuff?
Yeah, it checked out. His previous owners left him outside in Ohio 24/7 during the winter.
Yeah, what an ass bucket to do that. Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? He has scars all over his elbows and paws. They found him literally laying in a puddle of water that was like months old.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's terrible.
To get a little bit of info on some of the stuff that I've done when I've done rescues is you go to these places where things have been reported, and I help escort, being the guy that I am, these animals off for people so that we can fix them up and adopt them out and get them homes and things like that. It's always a shame when you see animals get mistreated. Animals are amazing creatures. It sucks that they don't, especially dogs, live as short amount of times as they do. They impact our lives like no others, and the way that people treat them sometimes makes me sick to my stomach, which is one of the reasons why I game as sort of a getaway, because when you've seen stuff like the way these dogs are after dog fighting or bait dogs, go ahead and look into it. It's fucking disgusting, the way people live and treat these animals. And you wonder why I do what I do. That's what I do. It doesn't pay a lot, but it's very rewarding. So good on you, man, for doing that.
I was just going to say, Crap, you and Rand taking an adopted pet and doing that and taking over. That's something a lot of people always go, and everyone I always hear, they're always like, I'm going to get this one it's breeded and it's unbelievable, and I got to pay for the papers and this and that. But realistically, I think the true heroes are what you and Rand are doing is when you go to the Humane Society or
don't
adopt.
Shop.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And take these pets that need that tender love and care. So I applaud both of you for that. I appreciate it. I'm glad we brought awareness to it. I do want to say this much though, guys, is there something that's been brought out, and it's something that happened with Apex Legends. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring it right to Crackdown 3. They had a stealth launch. And what a stealth launch does is it doesn't give anybody any time to be negative. Right? It's great. It's kind of great. It's something that I think is genius. So, I mean, do you think this is the future where you'll see less and less of this, and maybe we'll have – no, you don't think so?
It works. It only works because it's a battle royale game.
And it's free to play.
I think
the free to play.
The thing is, they were already doing all the press places already had played it previously, and they were working with streamers already to promote the game on day one. It only works because it's a free-to-play one map, one mode. You couldn't really do this with any other game.
You think it works enough if Game Pass is big enough?
No. I mean, big enough, maybe. If they have 50 million subscribers, maybe.
The customers are already paying for it, right? And then you're basically going to consumers direct on their view and their opinions.
Maybe if Game Pass is ridiculously huge at some point, but I still think you need some sort of because there's 240 games in Game Pass. I'm sure most people don't look through the entire list to see what's there or what gets added all the time. You still need to educate consumers on what Game Pass is, and the people who have Game Pass to constantly check it over and over again. But if Game Pass does get really big and has a lot of subscriber base, I guess that could happen.
I just feel like the landscape's kind of changing though. Like, and this is just kind of my view. I have to think about this stuff ahead of time. Obviously, we're not there now, but I feel like with the way streaming's going, the way people use that as like a metric of how good a game's going to be, or and you get people getting in people's hands. I think that speaks volumes. I don't know what the numbers are, so I don't know how those numbers are affected. But I know traditional media, or would say like traditional websites, are dying. So I know they're shrinking in numbers every year. So the question:
I don't even use most of them, to be honest with you.
So how do you get your information out there?
I go to Rand, man. I
go to Crap Gamer. That's where I get all my info.
Hey Rand, man, would you
Look at that cross promoting. That's fantastic. Cross promoting.
I'm like 6.5. That sounds about right. 6.57.
I mean, it's like I say. If you're a Crackdown fan, it's Crackdown. Go enjoy it. Don't worry about what I have to say.
Rand, don't you think they should have just called that Crackdown like a reboot?
They should have just remade Crackdown 1, and then you wouldn't like
say call it a reboot.
Just remade the first one. It's just I don't know. Like I don't know if you guys gotten into it, but is anybody else disappointed by the lack of Terry Crews in the game?
That's what I said.
I didn't mention it in my review, but
more Terry Crews.
He doesn't talk. And when he does talk, he's so far back in the audio mix that you can't even hear him. I'm like, come on, Terry. Come on. But
he's the game. He's the face of this game right now. I mean, you can't say no. I understand Crackdown is its own entity and it's got its own history, and I'm not taking any of that away. But he is on every advertisement. Even Xbox had this great Terry Crews promotion today of like, it's out today.
Well, can we say that Terry Crews maybe was late to the addition of that game, right? Is that a possibility? Because he wasn't the character at first, right? It was just like a different character. And now it's like he's in there. So I think they added him late or whatever. So, I don't know. I
mean, there wasn't even going to be a campaign. You remember? I mean, Joseph Staten was like, we weren't going to make a campaign. And I was like, oh, we have this cool cloud tech. What are we going to do? And then Phil Spencer said, how about we try it on Crackdown? They were more interested in the tech behind the cloud than making a great Crackdown game. It was like Crackdown was just a vehicle or a melting pot of like the cloud tech for the game, rather than like, hey, let's make a great Crackdown game and we have this cool technology we can plug into it. It started with, we have this cool technology. What game can we use it in? So I kind of think like that whole game got off to a wrong start.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on that. I mean, and not to to go back and forth here, guys, but we have so many games that released today, and to have this panel here, and so many of you have played the games, many of you have reviewed.
Anthem.
Let's talk about it. Anthem. There's Metro out there. See, I'm a big Far Cry fan too. I am
here too. We got Far Cry in the house.
I thought, and I want to hear what you guys think on the panel. I've said this on Xbox Nation. I'll say it here tonight. I said, since I'm trying to look out for everyone's wallets, because people write me all the time, Mooch, what do you think I should buy? What do you think? I said, listen, you got to look at the trends. Xbox has had a deal with Rise of the Tomb Raider, went into Game Pass, Shadow goes in 4 months later. Both Metro games prior are in Xbox Game Pass. I feel like Metro Exodus is there in 3 to 4 months, just like Shadow. And people would be like, no, Mooch, you're full of it. You're full of shit. No,
you're full of Mooch.
No way. Right.
Hey, Mooch, I woke up with a tattoo.
Right, a tattoo Mooch on my back.
Yes,
sir. My point is this, all right? Is that could be impossible. So I said, save your money on Metro. Go buy Far Cry. Go buy Anthem. Play different games. But I got to say, shout out to Salty, who's been in the chat since we started the show. Okay, saltiest gaming podcast.
He wants
is
in here to debate you. He was going hard. He was like when Don was talking, Salty was like, "You're wrong, Don."
He was all fired up.
I already had my debate with Salt on Wednesday. Okay, it's like a Balboa fighting a Russian. I need some time off till Wednesday.
I mean, all I did was stated facts and then my view on it. I mean, that's all I ask anyone to do, and people can't seem to do that. It's a little weird, to be honest with me.
Well, I'll tell you this much.
Ooh, shots fired. I have a city the Don and Salty.
You can fill in the blank whoever you want, but if you cannot state facts and then form an opinion based off facts, I don't care. Simple as that.
What are the facts, though?
What hashtag facts?
What product are we talking about? We're talking about Crackdown.
Specifically Crackdown 3.
Yeah, exactly. I thought I talked about the campaign, I've talked about the multiplayer, and I've talked about the fact that you can't party with your friends is a loss. And you did a trade-off. Simple as that. And you have to judge as an individual if that's what you want to play or not. It's that simple. It doesn't have to be that complicated. It doesn't have to be a trendy thing.
No, not at all.
Do what you want as a gamer. That's like the whole point of this conversation, right? So if he doesn't want to play it because that is a feature that he wants to play, it's a driving feature for him to play the game, I don't blame someone for doing that.
No, absolutely not.
But the problem is also with a lot of the reviews, no one's talking about the fact that you can't party up on the multiplayer.
Well, okay, so since I had the review copy, they didn't open up the servers weren't open up for multiplayer until Wednesday, and they were only open up for 2 hours, and they were closed the rest of the time. So if you didn't get, and I mean, they were only open for 2 hours. I mean, is that enough time to judge a multiplayer?
Well, it's not. Rand, I didn't even get a chance. I had a review code. I didn't even get a chance to get I couldn't meet the times.
I got the game last Thursday, and so I was like, all right, when's the thing coming? And it was like, and then it was finally.
That's for asking the questions, so I don't see the.
I just didn't talk about Wrecking Zone in my review because I couldn't play it.
And that's fair enough.
But I mean, I think I heard Xbox say this when he asked, yeah, I think I did. You said you wouldn't pay $60 for Crackdown 3, right?
That's I can't sign off on telling somebody.
I mean,
that's telling. That's what I was saying earlier.
I mean, it's pretty bad. If you're let's take Xbox Game Pass out of the equation. Boom, it's not a factor.
That's
you
what
you know
I'm
where
saying.
that's from, right? Crap, I know you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Fear Factor.
No, it's not Fear. It's the awesome Rock versus Stone Cold WrestleMania 17.
Yeah, I don't watch wrestling.
I
Fear is not a factor for you, crap.
Let's take Xbox Game Pass out of the equation. Boom, it's a non-factor.
Yeah.
If you look at Cracked, so it's $60. Is it worth $60?
That's what I don't like about this whole Game Pass situation, Xbox, is every time Xbox, don't get me wrong. I like when you say that because you know what? You're entitled to say that because it is what it is.
Why would we take something out of the picture that's in the picture?
But it reduces the value of the product.
But
I don't think so.
Here's the deal, though. Here's the deal. Like Xbox, Microsoft, they believe in Game Pass. They are doubling down on Game Pass that people are going to want this service. All right. So when you look at it like that, they could be like, you know what? This is the last kind of like the game with the last smudge on our logo. We'll put it out there. We know it's fun at its core. And we know people who have Game Pass.
It's a Michael Bay movie, according to, it's a popcorn movie, according to Greenie.
Well, people are going to enjoy it, and they're these people are paying $10 a month to play that plus over 100 other games.
Right. I'm saying let's take Xbox Game Pass out of the equation.
Why would you do that?
But you can't review a game and be like, well, it was kind of shitty, but for $1, who gives a fuck? Buy it. Right?
Yeah,
right, exactly. I got to agree with Rand on that.
To me, it's a dangerous precedent to set.
All right. Check this out. You can put it in there. You can say what you like about it, what you didn't like about it. You could state that, would you sign off on, somebody buying the game for $60, or would you lean more that if you really want to play this game, just get a month of Game Pass to try it out and to see if you want to move on from there, if you want to continue with the service, or if you want to buy the game outright. You could put that in your review.
I mean, I did say in my review, I don't think the game's worth $60. I think it's a $30 product.
Just like State of Decay 2 and probably Sea of Thieves.
I mentioned that, hey, you can get it on Game Pass if you want to try it out, but I wouldn't. I don't think it's worth $60. Period.
Couldn't you compare it to like what's being offered today?
Right?
What, Don?
People do reviews all the time based off price, right? $40, $30 indie titles, whatever.
I mean, I think people are more forgiving of certain things when price is attached.
So I guess you kind of have to include it. It's part of it. You can judge it off the $60 value and say, hey, it's not worth it. But you can also, in the same sentence, it is part of the equation. Say, hey, it's in Game Pass.
I mean, that's what I said. But I'm going to judge it off of the fact that it's a $60 title that you can also get in Game Pass.
You're being selective.
No, that's how I judge everything.
I think
is this game worthy of buying? Is this game worthy of buying at the price it's currently offered at? Because in a year from now, Crackdown 3 is going to be $20, and like the situation changes. Like nobody's gonna, like you can get God of War for fucking $10. Like it doesn't change the review. Like you review the game at the time.
Well, I mean, at that if you judge it now, then you would score it even higher, right? Because it's $10, right? But I just don't see why you would just exclude something. I mean, the industry's changing.
I'm not excluding it. I mentioned it. It's in the review.
It is a talking point, Don. I think that like if you go ahead, even Salty did make a good point. Like when and I said it 3 times now during the show, Netflix, okay, when you're judging Netflix, no, you're not judging Netflix on the Avengers movie they got in there, right? You're judging Netflix on their original series. Yes. And the thing about it is that Game Pass right now, and Xbox, I hate to say it, but you're the guiltiest guy. And don't get me wrong, you're rightfully so, because Xbox gave you that right. But you're the guiltiest party because you're always like, well, Mooch, I don't see why you're saying that. It's in Game Pass. Play it if you want. Don't if you don't. The point is if it's not in Game Pass, are you paying $60 for it? I don't think so.
That because guess what? Game Pass is such an important part of the Xbox platform moving forward that even people at Xbox will tell you to do the same thing.
Yeah. I think it devalues the game, to be honest with you. I think by getting up here and saying it's not worth $60, but it's worth $10, who really cares? You're just saying that whatever, Microsoft can just give us trash and we'll eat it up for $10 a month.
Yeah, for $10, it's not bad.
And I agree with you that Xbox Game Pass is great and it's important for Microsoft going into the future. But even Phil has said it's not going to be the be-all, end-all. Guys, there are people that want to buy the game.
You can
like Game Pass is just one
I bought
avenue.
that game.
I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, but you got your crap and boom by everything. But I mean, my point is though, crap. We can go to a diner. You can get chicken parm, and it's the biggest plate of chicken parm ever. But the pasta's overcooked. The sauce is Hunt's tomato can right out of the can. Okay, and the chicken was from a week ago. Right, but you're like, wow, come on, Mooch, don't complain. It's $6. It's the biggest plate I've ever had.
$6, let's get it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Right?
If I'm Microsoft, I want people to say, God damn, I got the game on Game Pass, but I would have gladly have paid $60 for this title because it's so goddamn good.
Well, would you agree with
at least I didn't pay $60 for it.
Rand, would you agree with this, right? So for me personally, people are like, Sony and Nintendo got to do something to combat Game Pass, and I'm looking and I'm saying, why? Sony and Nintendo come out with these 90+ rated games that sell millions and millions of copies, and Microsoft's coming out with 59 rated games. Microsoft needs something like this, and right now Sony and Nintendo don't. Like, they're in no hurry. In my opinion, I wouldn't be worried about that at all.
I mean, Game Pass fits what Satya is doing with Microsoft in general, and Xbox is moving towards what Satya wants. So, I mean, like, it totally fits, and I get it. Like, they need to make that move, and Game Pass is awesome and only get better. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, I really do think going forward with their new studios, with the investment of talent, that, like, I honestly think, well, except for with the exception of Battletoads, which is a never was, I think going forward, I think it's all going to be
delay that we never even hear about. Like, they wish they had those damn Men in Black things where they can just wipe our memory, right?
I get called all the time. Hey, I'm just a fake undercover pony, and I don't care about Xbox. Someone said I'm not an Xbox guy. It's like, really, dude? I play more Xbox than literally everybody. I mean, I care. It's just that, like, the last couple years have, for me, and I always got to preface this because people jump down my throat. The last couple of years have been pretty bad on the exclusive front. Sure, there've been great third-party games to play, but the first-party content definitely represents a lack of funding that Microsoft had. But I am hopeful for the future. So, I mean, I know it's ringing. It always rings.
I think Phil's calling you right now.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Like, what the hell are you doing on CrossFire? Yeah.
He's like,
what are
hey,
you saying?
He's like, hey, tone it down with Crackdown 3.
Yeah, tone it down. I mean, I guess Crackdown 3 had to be $60. There are a lot of years put into the game. I mean, they switched developers because of CloudGen and all that stuff. And I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just to see it come out, see the cloud reduced to what it is in that wrecking zone to what it was back in 2015. You're just looking at it and be like, damn, that definitely was a giant downgrade, huh?
They should never do technical demos to the public.
I
mean,
agree.
that's
Nope.
I mean,
Well,
here's the thing. Sony's done it before.
Like
too.
if it's true that you can't party up with your friends, possibly because you have to be region code next to the region, doesn't that eliminate what can be done with streaming in the future? Like you can only play with you can't party up with your friends in the future if they're in a different state.
You
It's
made a
when you
point.
split up is kind of more of the issue, right? So it's when you have people on opposite ends of, say the continent, right? And you have to connect. That's where it kind of becomes an issue.
You made a point to say that all these games that are coming out streaming on Google service, etc., are all single player games.
Yeah, they're like, here's a single player game for you, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to playing multiplayers or Twitch shooters are Twitch shooters. We buy the TVs with the lowest input lag. We want the controllers that are better. You know what I mean? Like that's a real issue. So you always wonder, like, will that ever be good enough to where you have to get something that goes through, I control it here, then it has to go through internet, go there, and come back to me, right?
Well, here's the thing.
there's-
Also, with the Google services, they force you to. Well, they don't force you, but they highly recommend that you connect via Ethernet to whatever device your browser is connected to,
Force!
and have your controller hardwired to ensure a better play quality. Like they have like these little warnings before you even start streaming.
Warning.
Interesting.
Warning.
And no one talks about
Interesting.
that stuff.
Warning.
Apex Legends is great.
You want to switch topics, huh?
Well,
25 million.
Battle
25
Royale
million.
Game of the Year.
I'll say this much about Apex Legends, and I want to tie the two
Go.
conversations because since we only have a half an hour left, we got a great panel here, and we had a great
Shit's all over
debate.
Fortnite. That's all I care about.
Well, there is that for many, crap. But I'll tell you this much. I want to tie in what Apex Legends has got going on and what we said about the free model. Xbot has said it last week. We'll say it again. This free $99 beats $60 all the time.
I gotta get a T-shirt,
Dude,
now,
the
right?
Battle Royale with a single map or two maps should never be paid for to begin with. It's ridiculous. It's not a full game.
It's a good point.
Facts.
Man, I'm not surprised. Vince Sempel has never made a bad game in his life. So Apex Legends, you know what? Shit's all over Blackout. Shit's
Yeah.
all over PUBG.
Yeah.
Oh, Rand,
Like,
can you
this-
tell Mooch that one more time about Blackout? Just
Oh,
it's
yeah.
shit's
R.I.P.
all over Blackout.
I'm sorry. Can you say one more time again against PUBG for Xbox?
And this is
He's
coming
playing-
from so I put 700 hours into PUBG, and I never want to play the game again
I
because
love
Apex
PUBG.
I
Legends. is
love Apex Legends,
love
dude.
PUBG.
I
Yes,
love it.
Love it.
I
Apex
can't get
Legends is
enough of it.
amazing. So
Not
Yeah,
only
yeah,
that, but it sent people back. It sent people back to Titanfall 2.
It
I know.
certainly has.
Crazy.
I was like, holy shit! Like, to be honest with you, I want to fire that bad boy up to see if they fixed that terrible lobby system that they had,
Which one, crap?
where you had to like Titanfall 2.
Oh, Titanfall
Like
2.
the last time I played it, you still had to wait to see somebody with the clan tag, same as yours, pop up on the screen
No,
that they
that's still
invited
the
you.
same.
Is it?
Yeah, it's still the same. Listen, I here's my thing about it. I think Apex Legends is outstanding. I think they tweaked it enough to give you enough Overwatch with the characters that you can pick from with their superpowers, but it doesn't OP the game in any way that I've found so far. The gunplay is outstanding. Here's my true love of the game. I don't know if you guys feel the same way I do. It's the map. I think the map is glorious. The
Yes.
ropes to scale up, the way that you can rope glide
Slide.
down. The slide is fantastic. I mean, everything feels good. And I love that they did the stealth launch because some of the greatest things you can all remember back in your life is literally the things you didn't see coming. And this game coming out of left field is magnificent. And I'm loving it. And I'll tell you this much, and I'll pass the mic to the panel. I have Anthem, which I mooched from a great Mooch Maniac. Thank you so much. But I'll be honest with you, I don't even want to play Anthem tonight. I want to play Apex and get the Anthem later in the weekend. That's how great Apex Legends is for me. I
It's
can't
really
wait to
good.
get back into it.
And there's
Yeah.
not a dance to be found.
Yep, no emotes.
Gunplay though.
Oh,
You don't like the gunplay?
Oh, last time we talked, you didn't like the gunplay.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I didn't. That was on the third day after it came out. I didn't care for.
He admitted later that he came around.
Yeah, because I said it on Twitter. I had played 3 matches when I made that comment. 3.
Yeah.
Now I've played 33, 63. I lost count.
I think we're starting to get past that point, though. Like, you know what? I wish Microsoft would have jumped on some kind of Halo BR because it makes sense.
Why not?
Right?
Crap?
And you don't have Halo for years. It's going to be extended development period. You could have easily come out with an update to do a Halo BR, and it would have made complete sense. And it could have been better than this. Like Microsoft, I don't know, maybe Rand knows, but probably kicking themselves because they're like, damn, we could have come out with something.
That's not to say they couldn't do a battle royale mode in Halo Infinite.
Yeah, I mean they could, but I mean what we're 2019, what is that, 2020,
that's
2021?
talking about in the meantime, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know. I mean, yeah.
Here's the other thing we were talking about, guys, and we should talk about it now. We talked about it on Xbox Nation. Battle Royale has to be free. Would you guys agree with me? It has to be a free-to-play game.
Yes.
And then you have to go from there. You can't have battle we sit there and say, and Rand, you made your comment. I'm not saying you're wrong, but Blackout is truly a fun game to play. I like it. I do.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying Apex Legends is a million times better than it.
Let me ask you this. Why?
Because Respawn is a better developer than Treyarch.
Well, I mean, that's like saying,
because the gunplay is better, the map is better, the movement is better,
class.
the loot is better, the guns are better. Literally everything in Apex Legends is better than anything in Blackout.
I think the gunplay
gunplay seems similar to me.
It's similar. The
heroes are much better. The way they synergize with their abilities.
I like the map better. Yes. But to say that when people are like gunplay head over heels, I'm like, that's going to lose me.
The gunplay seems the same to me. I don't know about head over heels.
I mean, okay, Titanfall gunplay is similar to Call of Duty, but I've always preferred Titanfall's gunplay over Call of Duty.
How about this, guys? #fun. All right. Apex is just more fun than Blackout, to be honest with you. With all the abilities and the different things that you can do, all the little nuances put together, they're all fun. And that's what a game's supposed to be, man. It's supposed to be fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. It is a lot of fun.
They nailed it. And what was funny was how the media tried to railroad them for just stealth releasing it, right? I saw so many people go, they didn't give it to us because they knew we'd tear it apart. And then later on, they're like, 9 out of 10. It's great. It's holy shit. It's amazing.
You saw what IGN did, right? They bashed it.
Boom.
Right? They bashed it, and then they came back and said the greatest gameplay of all time, 9.5.
And that goes back to what I was saying. They're doing it based on trends. A lot of what they drive their businesses is based on trends. So as soon as they found out it was popular,
journalism is dead.
Yeah,
everything changed in regards to that.
Journalistic integrity is gone, Don.
Yeah, and they're just like, well, we don't want to be on the wrong side of history.
Yep.
The almighty dollar.
Well, here's the thing, Don, right? I remember thinking this back when Rise Son of Rome came out, right? That game, I think everybody knew that wasn't going to get great reviews. People were bashing it. Oh, it's QTEs. By the way, QTEs were fine later on in the generation, but I'm just saying, on Rise in particular, which had its it was limited. I loved the voice acting and the story and the combat. I thought was okay. I think you needed more variety there, and the characters were cloppy clack clones of each other. But with that being said, it was definitely higher than a 59. And the fact of the matter was, I felt like that game was so bashed pre-release that a lot of those reviewers had no choice but to go ahead and do that, right? It was sort of
Metacritic.
Yeah, 59.
Holy shit!
What game was that?
Rise, Son of Rome.
I don't think that's a 59. Man.
I think Rise is a 60.
That's what
I thought it was a 60. Yeah,
but it's not a 60 for me.
But still, that's splitting hairs. Yeah, I think that the game's much better than it rated.
There's nothing wrong with that. Just based on actual facts, break it down why you have that.
Oh, okay, it is a 60. It's the same as Crackdown 3 right now.
Oh, I mean, 60.
I understand the QTE issue because like you would QTE and you like if you didn't even if you missed the button there was no you would still like kill someone. There was no punishment for missing it.
I'd probably give Rise a 7.5. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it, and I wanted to see a sequel because they had a lot there. They had a good foundation which they could build upon for a sequel.
You know what's funny was I actually liked the multiplayer in that too.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed the multiplayer as well. It's just. Yep. It's like, okay, that's the song and dance of Xbox this gen. It's like the lost generation.
Yeah. Didn't they try to buy the IP
They've
Epic?
tried, yeah. Crytek won't budge on it.
Or
So much
Crytek?
so that apparently there's bad blood between Crytek and Microsoft or Xbox
Jeez.
over it.
Yeah, that's a bit
Can't
of a
somebody
shame,
send
man.
them a lifetime supply of muffins and lattes? We can get over this,
Yeah.
right? This isn't
Anything's
hard to get
possible.
over.
But you know,
Freedom.
I was having a conversation with somebody, and I brought up you got Fortnite free to play, super huge. Apex Legends free to play, super huge. What do you think this is going to do for the industry? And the guy's like, I think next generation you're going to see most multiplayer games be free, and then if it has story content, it'll be paid for.
Yes,
But multiplayer will be free.
I
there's
completely
just
agree with that person.
Yeah, there's just no getting around how important and being free is to Apex Legends and Fortnite and see them dominating. If you want to get your hands into gamers,
Ew.
That's part of it, and that's
so
why
even
Is that
it makes me think Halo Infinite. Will the
Free to play?
multiplayer be free and then the campaign be Xbox Game Pass?
interesting, and I would
I
be
don't
okay with that. I'd welcome that with open arms, to be honest with you. And I think that's why when we sit here and talk about Apex, we have to look at the both animals in the room that make the most sense. So you have Apex and Fortnite that are both free. Okay, put them head to head. When people start comparing it to PUBG and Blackout, remember PUBG and Blackout are still charging customers. You're never going to get that player base. You're just not. Even if it was $1, it's a lot more than free.
$1?
Free
So my hope-
99.
Free 99 goes a long way. I really like that. Now, and guys, we're limited on time here, but we got so many games to talk about. I'm pretty damn excited about Anthem. I'm not going to lie to you. And the Division 2, as much as I was ready to go in head first, the Division 2 with their technical issues still has me a bit weary. Enrique, let me start with you on this one. Anthem, I think you're all in on. Are you in on Division 2 as well?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely in on Division 2.
Did you play the beta?
I did play the beta. I loved
Did you
it.
notice the issues?
There were some issues with some NPCs disappearing. Some issues with shooting my weapon and not hearing any
Don't
sound.
you think these are problems that should have been worked out since we're going from 1.8 to 2.0?
Dude, it's a beta, Mooch. It's a beta.
Boom!
It's a beta.
Boom! If you go to a bakery, right? And this guy's been making muffins for 35 years. All of a sudden, he's trying a new frosting, but the muffin on the bottom is all of a sudden caked and hard. You gotta say, dude, you've been making the bottom of the muffin for years.
But Mooch, I'm with
New
Boom here. It's a
frosting.
beta. It's a beta. But most of it,
Yeah, good.
most of the technical issues were. Hopefully, they're not there at the end product. Look, we could have, if the issues are there.
Then we say something.
Release, then we can bitch about it. But
Go for
I
it,
mean,
Boom, dog. I gotta hear this, Boom. Boom loves the Division.
No. Listen, I mean, yeah, sure.
That laugh was good.
Boom, you gotta admit they fixed a lot of the issues that were wrong with Division 1 and the improvements that they made in Division 1 they kept. Like those quality of life things they kept with Division 2, which is nice.
Like I said, I understand that there were some sound issues. I understand that there were some issues. I know Mucho. I mean, I was talking with you guys on a party when you were playing with Salty, and you said you were getting 1 frame per second. Obviously, that can't happen during the final product, but the final product also doesn't come out for another month, dude. So this, they didn't say, and I kind of want to go back and forth with Anthem. I'm getting both. I'm going to play the hell out of both of them. As a matter of fact, I'm going to probably put a significant amount of time into Anthem this weekend as well. But the issue, and I know Salty and I were going back and forth with this. A beta to the demo. The demo is supposed to be the more finished product. Where the beta, they're telling you, hey, listen, when you load it up, it says this is, you're going to run into some issues.
Bugs,
let us know.
Glitches, all that good stuff, man.
Yeah, but that's not fair. That's like saying, hey, everybody, welcome to CrossFire. By the way, tonight's episode might suck. That's not fair.
Come
that ain't fair.
on.
All you have to do is put beta at the end of Crossfire, and we can do that, man.
Yes, we can do
I'm
that.
going to announce that every Crossfire is known as a beta, and I want 1,000 viewers in here minimum. Listen, I got news for you. Rand, you played everything. I got Boom who buys everything. You play everything. Rand, what do you think? I mean, Division 2, I know you played the beta. You always dabble.
Nope.
You didn't dabble? Who doesn't dabble?
Because what's the I'm getting the game when it comes out. What do I need to play the beta for?
Oh, now you sound like Mooch. I love it. But listen, I got news for you. I hate betas. I really do.
I played
You know what I
Anthem, and it's just like I played the beta for Anthem just because. I mean, I don't need to play Division 2 because I played the Division 1.
Anthem wasn't a beta; it was a VIP demo.
So I just wanted to play Anthem, and I was like, I'm still getting it, but I mean, are you asking me which one I think is going to be better?
Which one do you think is going to be better, and which do you see you put more hours into?
Neither. I mean, I'm not the looter shooter dude. I'm going to play
true.
both for their story, and then I'm going to be gone. But
That's true.
I would think, judging, I'm going to say Division 2 gets a higher Metacritic because it's a sequel, and hopefully they learn from their past mistakes. And I think I still think Anthem's going to get some blowback for being EA, you know?
Yeah.
And like the microtransactions and all that stuff.
But EA's on a high right now, Rand.
That's Apex Legends, and that's only because it's free.
That's true. Because it's free. I mean, what do you clowns? You play all the betas. You're always in there. You're Mr. Beta. What do you think?
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Mooch. I played
he's a big beta.
I didn't like it. I liked the first one a lot better. I liked the setting in the first one, like, you know, the Christmas season. I liked the viral kind of apocalypse that was going on.
Yes, I dig it too.
This one just feels like, hey, let's just kill everybody.
Yeah, I do think Washington lacks the New York luster. I think Boom, even with Boom's affection for the game, he would.
I disagree because I live in DC, but I'm biased.
Oh, come on!
I live outside Washington DC. Let me tell you something: the attention to detail and how accurate.
Oh no, it's great.
It's amazing.
No, Enrique, you're 110% right. I'm just saying that you gotta. There's something about New York City. You know what I mean?
Well, you live there.
What?
You live there, so you're biased.
I'm biased.
Yeah, you're biased too, Mooch.
Hashtag bias.
Pardon me for like living up the East Coast. Everyone forgets we exist in the gaming world. I can't believe. God bless the Division for remembering there's an East Coast. But yeah, nonetheless, no, Enrique, I value your opinion on that, and I actually respect the fact that you are from DC. I think it's a beautiful part of the country, to be honest with you, with the heritage and everything else. But I just feel like it's, you know, with DC, there's none of the tall buildings. It's a lot of like, you know, the lower top. It's a lot of open grassy sections, and that's nice. But you know, it's a different feel. And I'm not saying it's better or worse. I'm just saying it's different. And
no, it is different. I mean, you're right, because you don't have those tall buildings. But I think Ubisoft said they're going to take advantage. Like they're going to do a little bit more with, like creating different landscapes. Yeah, because DC allows them to do that. So I'm interested to see how that's going to impact some of the missions and some of the gameplay.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree completely. Now, Xbot, have you tried these two games?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I dabbled, as you like to say, man.
Rand had a great out card where he says he's not the looter shooter guy, which is true. I know Rand for a very long time. It's not his bag.
Not my bag.
But at the same time, Xbot, what do you think? Which
Dude,
one?
I think both of them. I think both of them are going to be really big. Me personally, I'm more of a sci-fi guy. So when it comes down to it, I like what's going on with Anthem. The only thing is, it's kind of a mystery how they're going to support it, like moving forward. Whereas with Division 2, they kind of already put out a whole blueprint of what they're doing within the first year. So at least with D2, you kind of know what's coming. You might not know exactly what the content is, but you got like different categories, you know, different content coming in and stuff like that. And with Anthem, they're, you know, quite possibly $20 skins for your javelins or whatnot. At the end of the day, I think I would go with Anthem over D2 though, just because, like I said, I am a sci-fi guy. Yeah. I went in with the demo, the demo with the Don Blades and K Mega, and even with K Mega, he was sick as a dog. But dude, we had a blast, like going in together and taking out that huge spider. It was a lot of fun, man.
I gotta say, for some reason, Anthem, maybe it's the sci-fi thing, I do kind of dig it a little bit more. I think there's more they can do in that world. And, you know, with Casey Hudson and the crew over there, the sky's not the limit. The limit's the sky. I think realistically, you've got a great crew over there. The Division 2 to me seems like, I think listen, I didn't take advantage of Division 1. You guys know that I was kind of down on it a bit. I think Division 2 will take what it learned, move forward, but the Division 2 is going to be a slightly more expanded Division 1. And is that a negative? Not really. Because people who love Division 1 are going to say, Mooch, you didn't like it. I did. That's a you problem. It probably is.
Hashtag bias. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on, Boom.
Clear my throat.
Clear my throat.
Guys, great news. Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy is free right now on Xbox Live Gold.
Hey, all right, everybody. That's how you do a show. Guys, by the way, keep an eye on Boom Bostic's channel. Boom's going to be doing an unboxing of his Anthem Javelin set that he's got a full body
I wish
suit.
they had one. Dude, don't you know, I literally tweeted at the developer, please release a collector's edition, and I got no response. Even though Boom buys everything, they didn't want no part of Boom's
Boom,
money.
I would sponsor that entire unboxing on my channel.
Be like, hey, I'm the guy that almost died from putting on a mask for Fallout.
That's right.
That's right, doing my review.
Boom, did you almost suffocate?
Dude, it was hot in there. I had to actually, like when you're a kid, you take a breath and then you put the mask back on when you're trick-or-treating. That's exactly what it was like. I had to take a breath, and then I did the whole last part of it in one take. Dude, it took me like 12 takes to get it right. It was crazy.
It was like a 70s costume, man, from the 70s.
So, let me ask you guys this on the panel real quick. I'll start with Rand. Rand, so it's not rumored anymore. It's fact that you have Infinity Ward's coming out with a campaign for Call of Duty next year, and I know a lot of people are excited about it, right?
Yes.
That's fine. That's great. But I don't think it's going to change what Activision wants to see in its yearly sales, in air quotes. Following around Captain Stu Nuts for 6 to 8 hours next year, okay, is it going to change exactly what the money? Because let's keep in mind, folks, without a campaign, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 beat Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and was the #1 selling game of 2018, according to NPD.
And even with that, they said that it didn't meet their expectations.
Yeah, but Destiny 2 also didn't. So what is it? These guys they're starting to sound more and more. They're starting to sound more and more like Mr. Scrooge when Scratch couldn't actually, come to terms with his business appeal. I mean, there's a problem here at Activision, right?
I didn't buy Black Ops 4, but I will be buying Modern Warfare 4.
There you go.
So they got my sale. There are rumors that the campaign is literally going to be a remastered Modern Warfare 2 and 3, though. It's not actually going to be a new campaign.
Well, if you listen to their actual investor call, they said it's going to be brand new, expansive campaign. Yeah,
all right, well, I'm in.
And co-op. Supposedly, this is what they're going to offer: some type of zombies, some kind of campaign, some kind of co-op, multiplayer, and their own possible blackout type. So
I'm interested in seeing if Activision makes their Call of Duty Battle Royale free to play.
It should be, to be honest with you. This is what I told Mooch, because Mooch, when I brought up that I hated that they took out the campaign in Black Ops, he was like, but you get Blackout for free. And I'm like, well, they should be giving you that for free on top of all the other stuff, right? Like, they're realistically taking away a big part of the game by cutting the campaign and giving us just something that probably should be free. Like that.
Guys, this just in. Past Call of Duty campaigns, Captain Stu Nuts went left. This one you're going right.
Hey,
guys,
I realize they're not your thing, but for me personally, I've played through all of them, and with the exception of Black Ops 2, I've liked all the campaigns. Like I thought they were really, really good. I can't say that
it doesn't bring more crap. Listen, if you have a bag of shit, right, and you're throwing stuff in it, right, and all of a sudden you take a little bit of shit out of the bag,
dude. I don't. When was the last time shit got the type of play? Like people really like the Modern Warfare ones.
Listen,
in particular,
my pitch is this: Call of Duty is all about multiplayer. Say that you guys
but I have.
Some people say Halo's all about multiplayer, but I play the campaigns. I
have a counter.
I think it's a 50-50 with Halo.
I have a counter for you. And I think it's gonna shut down your whole argument. Okay, so just 2 seconds.
I highly doubt it, but go ahead.
No, and of course I'm going to be respectful about it because we're friends, right? This is just opinions.
Of course.
You have to look at it like this. They did. Someone said it on today's show, and I don't know if it was the Don or I don't know if it was Van. What's that?
Van mentioned it.
Yeah. Okay, so Van mentioned this, and it's actually a really great point. They polled the last Call of Duty that had the single player campaign, and they said that 35% of the player base played through and beat the campaign. Now you say, okay, 35%, that's not that good of a deal. Well, here's why that's the wrong idea. If it sells 18 million copies and a third of that is playing through the single player, that's 6 million people that bought the game. 6 million, Mooch, not 2 million, not 1 million. Yeah. That's 6 million people that played through that campaign. That 6 million is more than some other games sell in their whole lifetime. So those 6 million, the Craps, the Me,
But the problem is I have to completely ruin those numbers for you. Those 6 million still bought the game, so it doesn't matter.
But
maybe they didn't enjoy it as much, and that's a them problem.
Yeah, but
they
it's still
bought it.
it's still 6 million people that played the campaign and beat it and
Absolutely.
enjoyed it. And
No
I
doubt.
mean,
oh no, listen, boom. There's no way I could ever take that away from you, Crap, or anyone that enjoyed it. Again, we said that in the beginning with Crackdown 3. I'll say the same thing right now. If you've enjoyed following around Captain Stunuts for 6 to 8 hours, that's fine. I'm not talking you out of that. But all I'm saying to you is that the game doesn't need it, and it's proven very clearly with Black Ops 4.
Again, no. Here's the thing. And I've said this multiple times. If you start just releasing a $60 game with no single player campaign, that's going to catch up to them, because it's at that point, can't you just implement some maps at that point? You know what I mean?
Crap, here's the thing. Your point, that was a great point you made, Crap, months ago. But now we see that multiplayer only games need to be released for free. And that's what we're seeing with Apex Legends, etc.
Yeah, but they're not going to release Call of Duty for free, and they want to monetize it. So you have to have a like Rand just said.
So
if they're releasing multiplayer games for free,
Yes.
you got to have some kind of monetization, and that's where the single player comes in.
And that's why single player's back, because they're going to double dip. They're going to give you the battle royale for free and let you pay for skins, etc. And then you'll have to pay $60 for Captain Stunuts.
That sounds like Activision to me, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd rather follow around Captain Stunuts than no talking Destiny people. I'm just saying.
Activision.
Wow.
How dare you, Crap?
Two different types.
Activision spent 500 hours with that doing the same mission over and over and over.
Yeah, but I get to talk
Hopefully
to Boom and all my other friends.
What did I just get? What did I just get? The same boots that I got last time. What did I get this time? The wrist armor from last time.
You gotta play.
Awesome. Jesus
you didn't get that
Christ.
magical scarf, Crap. That's why you didn't play longer.
Hey, look, they threw 13 achievements at me. Brilliant. I mean, come on. It's like DLC. Spend $500.
I thought you would have loved it.
No, I don't. I hate that shit,
score?
man. Spend $500 in this game and like have nothing to show for it. Oh, great.
No, it's not true at all.
So bad Activision dumped them. You know what I mean? Come on.
I think they want it out.
The only thing that might go against this is Activision's business strategy around Call of Duty, right? Because they make all their money on selling Call of Duty every single year, that if they take a portion of that game and sell it for free, do they sell as many $60 copies of Call of Duty? Does that impact their bottom line?
Yet to be seen.
Rand,
So
I think
it's like
you're talking.
Great point,
about
Rand.
When you say extra content, you're talking about a third arm. All right, like people will buy the Call of Duty for the single player, the multiplayer in terms of the team deathmatch and everything like that.
Right. But my point is like, okay, let's imagine a scenario, Modern Warfare 4, right? It's got single player and it's got the regular multiplayer and the zombies for $60. But then also there's a new breakout, and the breakout's free to play. Do people gravitate to the free to play and get their battle royale fix and don't buy the $60 title?
Allow me to piggyback.
Or let me just finish. Or do they take that battle royale mode, put it into the product at $60 to then get as much money out of people buying it as possible?
But check this out, Rand. Here's the only thing with that, because when it comes to battle royale, you see with Apex, you see what's going on with Fortnite in the terms of seasons and everything like that. I don't think you can ride a battle royale for 1 year. Call of Duty fans, PUBG, they're still going. They got a new season going on. Everything, man. There's still people playing. PUBG has what I like to call a cult following.
Hold on, I need to use Mr. Boomstick's numbers, okay, with the 35% and the 6 million. Okay, here's my point with this. Take what Rand just said, Boom. Okay, and now you have the BR is free, the Battle Royale is free. Okay, and God forbid they make any of their other multiplayer free. Hear me out, Rand. I'm going to piggyback on you. Okay, they make a little bit more. Maybe Zombies is free too. Now you go from 18 million sold. Now you're using your 30% number, and now you're going to find out that Captain Stunuts only got you 6 million. Guess what? Failure.
Well, Michael Pachter had an interesting prediction. I actually kind of agree with them on this one. He said when Modern Warfare 4 comes out, they will make Blackout free, and the new Blackout or the new Battle Royale will be part of the $60 version of Modern Warfare 4. So they'll make the previous Battle Royale Call of Duty will be free to play, but the new one, if you want the new one, you have to pay $60.
I don't like that.
That's his prediction.
That sounds like an
Activision to me.
That's not a good move, and anybody who's been in the video game business for more than a half an hour should know that's a bad move.
Yeah, but it's going to split their player base.
Exactly, clown.
Yeah.
That's a bad move across the board. Why don't they get us YouTubers in the goddamn boardroom?
Because they have CFOs sitting at the creative meetings now at Activision, apparently.
Those CFOs, I got to be honest with you, Enrique, the last time they played a game, it was Qbert and not the remastered version. Okay?
But it doesn't make sense. To me, like this day and age, it doesn't make sense to charge for a Battle Royale when the top Battle Royale games are free. Like Fortnite's free. You have, I mean, so like they're going to, I think Activision at some point, because I think the industry is going to shift. And I had this conversation with Matt Pescatello at PD. It's going to shift, and they're going to have to shift with it. Like they can't keep going back to the well and charging $60. I mean, I think at some point, if they're going to get in the Battle Royale genre, they're going to have to go free.
And I think Activision knows that, and it's one of the reasons why they laid off all those people, despite having record profits, is because their future is bleaker than ever before because of the way the industry's moving to a free-to-play model, which is the antithesis of what Activision does. So selling a $60 product with multiplayer in this day and age isn't really the best. I mean, look at Battlefield 5 comes out, Battle Royale comes out next month, and you don't hear about it. Nobody cares, right?
No, it's dead.
Because Battlefield's dead and it's tied to,
I said this a year ago. I'll get zero credit for it, but I said Battlefield itself, the game itself, is in dire straits, and everyone's like, "Get out of here, Mooch! Take your ridiculous thought process back."
The thing about Battlefield that you got to point out also is they ruined. They shot themselves in the foot with that bullshit. With you can't attack your players, right? Like I don't care who you are, I get it. Like people want to, people want to get butthurt about it or whatever. But the bottom line is the hardcore pay your bills. Yeah. They flat out said, "You don't want to buy our game? Don't buy our game." And guess what? People didn't buy the game.
Right.
So,
Okay. Guys, with that, it's 9:00. I promised we'd be out of here by 9:00. And we've got an outstanding panel that I want everyone to at least hear and get a chance to visit their channels as well. So I want to do the outros. Outstanding show tonight. The chat was awesome. The panel's great. Let me go down real quick and start with Crap Gamer. Crap, thank you for being here, buddy. I know you got to leave at 9. So I want to say, let everybody know where they can find you. And I can't wait for M&C on Sunday.
Crap Gamer reviews, and we got M&C Sunday at 11 Eastern, thereabouts. We got giveaways, all that kind of good stuff, so make sure you guys check it out. It's going to be a damn good show.
Awesome, Crap, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And I promise you 9:00. It's 9:00.
Yes.
That was close. Man, that was a tough one. I got to be honest with you, because this show could have easily went to 10:00 on my watch.
Hey, why come nobody hit like button, dude? You get damn near 600 viewers. And
I know. Can we get some likes, guys?
Jesus, come on.
What a show you put on. These are great people. These are people that game like the majority of their lives. We all game for you. Okay.
Exactly. So.
Oh God, a great show, Crap. Thank you.
For me too, though.
You do, Xbox. Yes, you do.
Take it easy, everyone.
You got it, Crap. I'll catch you on Sunday, buddy. You guys check out Crap Gamer's channel.
Yes.
That being said, let me go in reverse order here. I'll start with the special guest that came on tonight that I didn't know, and it's great to have him here. Rand, I'll throw it. Rand, thanks for being here, buddy. I really appreciate you stopping on the channel, saying what's up, talking to the chat, and then coming on the show, buddy. It's always good to get your insight, and the fact that you played Crackdown. You reviewed Crackdown, and now you're in the midst of doing Far Cry. And I'm not sure if are you doing Metro after?
I bought Metro. It's just been a rough week. We had to put down our puppy of 9 years.
Sorry to hear that.
Thanks. And then all of a sudden find out, we're rescuing a dog. So it's kind of been one of those weeks. You know what I mean? So I got Far Cry to play. I got Metro. Got Anthem next week. Just ton of games to play. And that's what I love, If anybody wants to check out my channel, it's Randall Thor 19 on YouTube. Appreciate being on the show, Mooch. It's always a good time. And it's always fun talking to the Don and Xbot and Clowns and Mr. Boom.
Rand, we
got always a pleasure, my friend.
Rand, you always bring value to a show, buddy, and we really appreciate you stopping by. And to be honest with you, looking forward to your future reviews, buddy. You do a great job. Guys, do check out Rand's channel, please. And then I've got my buddy Enrique from Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. My buddy, listen, we have the best debates, Enrique. I got to be honest with you. It is so great to go back and forth with you on Twitter, and we talk in the chat. We DM each other all day long. Yeah. Media bias, which is fantastic. I love it. You bring such a great element to the show, buddy. Let people know about Brap and where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, it was a pleasure coming back on. I love the show. Great panels always. And Basement Radio Arcade Podcast on YouTube. We go live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We just had Boom on this week as a guest. So check us out. Yeah, we like to have a good time and just talk video games.
Little inside source for you guys in the audience. I'm scheduled to be on BRAP possibly in the next couple of weeks. So we'll
Nice.
we're working something out right now
Yep.
on
Nice.
scheduling, but we're going to make it happen. Enrique, great to have you here. Thank you again.
Enrique, I
Yeah,
just want to
thank
give it a heads up. He likes his water temperature at 43.6 degrees.
Great.
And if it's a degrees over, he's gonna yell and leave the show. I'm just
This
giving
is
you
true.
the heads up.
Very true. Very true.
Hey, thank you for the heads up, Boom.
Yeah, all podcasts. I'm early to arrive and late to leave. I'm one of those guys at the party. Okay, that's right. Great to have everybody here tonight. And I got Don. Great to have you here. We gamed the other night. We were hanging out, talking in the chat, all that other good stuff. You're a big fan of Crackdown. I love your opinions. I love your insight, and I love your knowledge into the gaming community. Let people know where they can find you, please.
The best thing to do is just follow me on Twitter. If I'm doing anything, that's going to be there. If I'm showing up on a podcast, if I'm decide to post something on YouTube and not play Crackdown, you'll see it posted there. That's the only thing that's holding me up is I want to actually just play the game that I enjoy. So that being said, probably may stream the game later tonight if anyone wants to join me.
I'll be honest with you, Don. Let me know, and I'll retweet that out. I'll be really, really frank with all you guys. I am going to go ahead, and there's a lot of games to play. I'm probably going to go ahead. Thanks to the Don and Crap and others that have been on the community today telling me I'm going to be playing a lot of Crackdown. I'm going to try it tonight when we get done with the show. Then I got my buddy Italian Clowns. Clowns, do us all a favor. Please move back to New York. We miss you up here.
I got a nice calzone waiting for you, brother.
Yeah,
Come on,
absolutely,
down.
buddy. All kinds of different marinara up here, you know? Come on, buddy. Get up here. Clowns, how you been? And let people know where they can find you, please.
Yeah, every Thursday, usually 5:30, Four Guys with Quarters. We also do 4GWQ, a variant podcast. We got more stuff coming down there. We've got a lot of comic reviews coming up, movie reviews that we got invited to, other stuff. And yeah, it's just a blast doing all these podcasts with you, Mooch. Glad Rand joined us tonight. The Don, you know, I didn't know it was his birthday, and that's why his envelope was a little light this week. You know, so,
That's great.
Love it.
Don't worry about it, Clowns. It's all good, man.
Oh, God, that's awesome. I feel bad. I was actually mooching on Don's birthday. That's crazy. Someone said mooch. That's a new type of mooching that's going on. You're actually trying to double dip on Don's birthday.
Mooch is the guy that goes to a birthday party as a kid, and he's like, "Well, where's my present?"
No, I was the guy at the party with the giveaways you guys used to give to all the people that came to your party. I used to ask the people when they were leaving, "You're not going to take that giveaway too, are you?" Come on, let me get that small little bag of favors. No, great stuff, guys. Then I got Senora Bombastic Boom, who's doing everything in the world for you guys. Boom, outstanding stuff today with Van. Big fan of Mr. Midlife Crisis myself. Huge guys, always given to the show. Always been very, very grateful. Amazing guy. Boom, let people know where they can find you, your podcast, and all the things that are blowing up on your channel.
Well, you know what? Twitter, easiest place to find me. My DM is open to everyone. One of the new things I'm doing in 2019, a lot of unfound talent is going to be making their way to Breakfast with Boom. I've talked to several people. In the next few weeks, I'm showcasing new talent for people that have just like I asked you, Mooch, you know, all those, you know, a year or so ago, can I be on the show? A lot of people have reached out to me and said, listen, I want to be on the show. And that's how we're going to do it. We're going to get, you know, if you want to be on the podcast, and even if you don't have experience, you know what, you have to start somewhere. And of course, check out my channel. I do all live content. Next week's a big week. I'm writing right now for 4 live shows. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is going to be a Double Barrel Gaming presents a Crackdown 3 discussion and review with a very big lineup, and the whole show, it's only going to be about 60 minutes, but it's going to be about Crackdown 3 and our thoughts and a final review of the game.
I like where you're going with that, Boom. And, you know, to be honest with you, same thing like when me and you first spoke, like you said, a little over a year ago. It's nice when people do reach out to you and show that enthusiasm and passion for the gaming, not just the gaming community, but gaming in general. We've all been doing this for a very long time, so it's great that you always open up your doors and allow somebody into the podcast and give them a chance to.
Well, you got to pay it forward, Mooch.
Absolutely.
You got to pay it forward.
Absolutely, and I say bravo to you for that. And there's no one better than you to do that than yourself, officer friendly.
Thank you, sir.
Okay?
Appreciate that.
And then last but certainly not least, my buddy Xbot 448, who's confused for 844. So Xbot, I said it in the beginning, I'll say it again. You and Mel outstanding streamers, and I mean it in a certain light. You know, some people tune into certain people's streams and they kind of like the comic relief. They like the way the guys are animated. When you watch Mel and Xbot play a game, This is like watching two people. First of all, the fact that they're a couple, that's even makes it more amazing. They play the game, they enjoy the game, and they're gamers. They have fun playing the game. So XBot, let people know where they can find you and Mel.
Hell yeah. Definitely. I do have a small YouTube channel. It is called XBot448. It is the home of the Next Podcast. Anybody out there who watches the Next Podcast, it is every Saturday at 7. But this weekend, I got to work, guys. So we are moving the show to Sunday, early afternoon. Why don't you follow me on Twitter at XBot448, and you'll know exactly what time the show is going down. But it is a little bit of a blip. It's because of my job. Being at a vape shop, my the owner is going away for a couple weeks and whatnot, so we had to adjust scheduling. But awesome show tonight, and Mooch, thank you for the kind words. Me and O Snaps, like I said before, we started gaming. Like, we met each other on the computer, started talking, and the first thing we really got into was playing like Operation Raccoon City, like I said before,
Nice.
Left 4 Dead 2, and we have fun. That's what it's about, man. We gotta have fun playing games.
That's what it comes down to, XBot. And maybe I didn't use that word enough, but when you guys do stream, you just fun kind of comes through the screen. It's fun to watch people enjoying a game and playing a game for what it's made for. And to be honest with you, XBot, I'll just say this much: take a look at your metrics, buddy. Look at your analytics, because I'll be really frank with you. A Sunday afternoon Next Podcast, I don't know if it works for the panel, but I'll tell you, as a person that watches it, it'd be nice to have a Sunday afternoon.
Can you imagine that right after MNC? That would be just like a huge block of.
Well, I'm just saying.
My goodness, man.
Yeah, Sunday is meant to podcast. I always say that, right? It's not just the Lord's Day. There you go, folks. All right. That being said, guys, do check out everybody's channel. Outstanding gamers here. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Got a lot of new content coming up on the channel. I appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend. So many games. We'll talk to you next week, 7 p.m. Eastern. Peace out, guys. Bye.
Peace.